Welcome to the Hop Edition podcast, brought to you in association with The Malt Miller, your go-to choice for premium homebrewing ingredients and equipment. Whether you're a beginner starting out or an experienced brewer, The Malt Miller has got you covered. So for top quality products and customer service, jump over to themaltmiller.co.uk and tell them the Hop Edition sent you. We would also like to thank all our Patreons for their continued support with running and developing the pod. If you would like to become a member and gain access to exclusive perks and benefits, head over to patreon.com/the Hop Edition. Now it's time to get this pod started, so crack open a homebrew and enjoy the episode.
Well, hello everyone, and welcome to episode 106 of the Hop Edition podcast. It is the Christmas special, the hallowed Christmas special, and tonight we're going to be talking through our year in beer, a big old reflection of 2024 as we are seeing it out. It's been a huge year for the podcast, for the Hop Edition, huge growth. I just want to say a big thank you to everyone that supported us, including our Patreons. And to help us see in the festive period, we are joined by Martin Hodnott from Maverick Brewing Co. Hello, Hoddy. And a returning guest in Alix from Lallemand. She had so much fun on the last podcast, she decided to join us tonight for the Christmas special. But before we get started, before we crack the beers and have a good old merry sing-along, we're going to have some carols. I think we ought to have at least one carol. Just a quick reminder of our wonderful sponsor, the Malt Miller. Everything you could possibly need for home brewing, hit them up, let them know the Hop Edition sent you. Remember, there's a dedicated Hop Edition recipe section where you can find a range of beers that are featured on the podcast, including our own creations and some great beers from the various guests we've had so far this year and from years past. So get stocked up on your Christmas brewing. If the wife doesn't know, say Santa sent it. I don't know who put that joke in there. Probably Chris. And also husbands. So please, finally, a quick reminder, subscribe to our YouTube channel and our Facebook page so you can stay up to date with all of our announcements, as well as interacting with the podcast during our live streams. You'll find all the links for our socials in the description of this video, whether you're following along live or at a later point. So, final bit before we get into the podcast. Today, as usual, we have our Christmas giveaway.
Whoa!
So, listen carefully. There's going to be a voucher for the Malt Miller, and it's going to come with a recipe kit. How much is it for? £50. Nice. Now, how do you get in to win it? Well, there's going to be one question, just one question we're going to ask at some point during the podcast. If you want to grab that prize, you need to find the answer to the question, and you need to message the Hop Edition on Facebook Messenger. So head on over to Facebook. If you're not liked our Facebook page there, go and do that now. And it will be the first person with the correct answer that gets the message into our Facebook Messenger account. That was a big intro.
Huge.
Big intro for the end of the year. So I'm going to just say hello to Hoddy and Alix. How are you guys doing?
Good, hello.
Yeah, all good. It's been a busy year, isn't it? Let's be honest. It's been a busy year for everyone. So I'm looking forward to having a few beers. Cheers.
Yes, and probably worth calling out that most of us have some Maverick beers in can in front of us, which we're going to be drinking during the podcast. So expected the odd review and breakout and chat with Hoddy about those beers. So let's get stuck in. So what are we all drinking? Alix, what are you drinking?
I am drinking Obviously, well on brand. Full Circle, So Fresh, So Clean, which is our collab with Pomona. You know, I just thought I'd bring it back to the last episode. We can talk about Pomona again.
Hey!
More
Nice to
Pomona
see it
chat.
out
Let's
there.
go.
No, this is the
Good
only one
episode.
I've got in my fridge that is like co-branded. So I thought I'd start with that one.
Nice.
On brand as always, Alex. I love it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've got to admit, though, I have seen that. I can't remember on which website it was. I can't remember whether it was like a wholesaler or whether it was actually on the website, but I nearly bought it. The only reason that I didn't, because it was only really that one and one other that took my fancy.
It is very good. I have had a couple of them. I had Northern Monk also did a collab with Pomona for their Fresh From Hop Focus series, along with a bunch of hops from Crosby, I think. And yeah, I have tried them both side by side. They're both hazy IPAs. I do think this one's a little bit better.
Wow. All
How's
right,
it tasting, Alex? Have you drunk it
I like a
before?
lot of their beers. And it wasn't that I didn't like the beer. I just, between the two of them, I would choose this one.
wow.
Nice.
Okay.
Hoddy, what are you drinking?
Well, I'm a bit like Andy. I've started off with a nice cold can of Contours, 4.8. Slightly, a little bit drier than some of the other beers in the pack that I've sent out. Loads of crisp. Pretty good. A nice way to start. If some of the beers are a little bit stronger later, we'll be getting on to. But the first beer I ever brewed at the brewery. So this was the first beer that we made. There's a bit of a story on the back of the can, although it is a little bit small, to be fair.
Yep.
About this beer, but this beer was never supposed to actually be released.
Yeah, because I remember you telling us the story about this when you came on, and it was you had to actually dump the batch because it was too bitter, wasn't it?
Well, it wasn't too bitter. It was when we were commissioning the kit. So we'd installed the kit. It was freezing cold. It was like February, and it was like 4 degrees in the brewery, whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
And to commission the kit, and I miscalculated the temperature of the strike water needed to be to take account for how cold everything was. So we ended up mashing in, and I think mashing it in, it was like 62, maybe 61.5 degrees.
Jeez, right.
Still went all the way through the boil, whirlpool, everything, because it was like, let's just got to make sure everything works and put everything through. And yeah, put it into the fermenter and still pitched it just to see what would happen. And it was a bit on the dry side. So we ended up binning that one. But the recipe was only ever designed to be just to test the kit out and just see how it came out. So we brewed it again, and actually the second time it was good enough. Kegged it, and we needed to open the tap room to get some money in. So we thought, you know what, we'll just put it on tap, and it ended up being. It isn't anymore the most popular beer, but at the time for that first year or so, it was by far the most popular beer we made. So. And it's made a comeback and gone into cans.
Sounds awesome. Before anyone else jumps in, we have the malt miller currently listening. It's Stiffo. He's just sent us a picture, and he's currently drinking his latest House Hazy Pale version 3. You see, all good brewers have a version number after their beers. And this is with Pomona, and it's Mosaic Hot Dipped. Crushed Citra Nelson on the dry hop, and apparently it is delicious. I wouldn't know, Stiffo. You haven't sent me any. Couldn't possibly judge that. There may be a slight amount of bias.
Stiffo.
There might be some bias in that one, you see, but we don't know because you haven't sent us any. So we can't.
Especially with that list of hops on there, I think that one needs to be tested out on a podcast.
I've not tried Crush. Has anyone else tried Crush?
That's
I've never even heard of
HBC
it.
586.
Yeah.
Is that
I'm out of the
586?
loop with hops.
Yeah.
Well,
you probably got some free ones, Tricky, probably at some point or another you got to test out.
Maybe.
There's a theme there, isn't there?
Yeah.
There's a theme.
No, I think Robbie did hook me up with quite a few packets of that at BrewCon last year, actually, as it happens. So, yeah, shout out to Robbie.
There we go. Right, who's next?
Me?
I don't know. Andy, go.
I'll go because I basically got Contours as well. Just had It's like it's dry. It's dryish, but it's got this bitterness that just draws you back in for more. It's like super drinkability. It's not like dead soft or kind of flavoring like that. It's like super juicy, like just that orange juice sort of vibe sort of thing where you just want to go in for more. Yeah, it is an absolute banger. Yeah,
But you'll see that's a common theme in probably all of the beers is
good
because there's just a bitterness now. There's just got to be that bitterness there to keep it drinkable. I'm not a fan, or I've gone right off of a lot of those beers that for a while
super
it's
flabby,
getting too sweet and just I think, and we're seeing that in the tap room in people's tastes that are coming in as well, that there is this kind of leaning back towards lager a bit more now, and also people are definitely leaning back towards bitterness now. Still want the big juice and mouthfeel and all this sort of stuff.
Yeah,
but to have that bitterness underneath it.
Oh, it's just easy to drink, isn't it? It just you smash right through that. Yeah, it means you can sell more.
Sodium chloride in it, and you'll sell even more of it.
So yeah, it's good. Glad you like it.
Yep.
Well, I'll jump in at this point then. I am drawing pictures of mountaintops, which is a great name for a beer, I have to say. Do love it.
The can art's amazing.
It's all right, yeah. It's not bad at all, that one. That's about as good as a compliment you're going to get from a Yorkshireman, I'll be honest. And it's got, I can taste the Golden Promise, even though I don't think there's massive amounts of it in there. Citra, Azaka, and Mosaic fermented out with Sanders. And it's a decent beer, this one. It's probably wasted on me right now, I'll be honest. I've been ill for the last sort of 4 or 5 days. But when
nice. When did you have a 38-degree fever, Chris? Was that last night?
Yesterday morning. Yeah.
Absolute legend.
There's a reason why it says IAF underneath my name. Ill as, yeah.
I don't know. I was wondering what the heck that was.
Yeah, I don't know what that meant.
So
is it the Israeli Air Force or something?
No, it's a nice beer. This one, it's going down well. Decent lacing on the glass as well, which I'm very happy about. Good carbonation, and it tastes good. I mean, I can't fault it. I'll be honest with you, I can't fault it. I'm not getting that bitterness you're talking about though, Hoddy. This is very, very soft. This one.
It's soft, but there is a bitterness underneath it. It's not it's probably that one, I think, off the top of my head, is probably about 26, 27 IBU. So it's not low.
Yes, it's about where I normally aim my beers, yeah.
Yeah. And obviously, again, crank it up for the higher ABV stuff. So, one hides the other, but that one does have, a load of sodium chloride and in it to really soften it up.
Did you add it like Salt Bay though?
I had to think for a moment then. No, because I'm probably adding like in the boil, because that was a controversial one from the Malt Miller video that turned quite a few people's heads, was I put all secondary salts in at the boil, but sodium chloride and salt, I'm probably adding 100 grams, if not a little bit more into a batch. So there's yeah, fuck it, in it goes.
No, it's all good, man. It's a nice beer. I like it. I do like it.
Well, I'll go next because I'm drinking the same beer. I'm also drinking Mountaintops. Is there a bit of an affinity with like a sort of mountain vibes or something along those lines, Hoddy? I was just looking at your Maverick logo and I was wondering kind of what the inspiration was for the.
Can I take this one, Hoddy? Can I take this one?
Go on then.
Think of the fucking lyrics. At home, drawing pictures of mountain tops with him on top. Lemon yellow sun. Come on.
All right. Good. Thanks for that.
I also don't know what this song is.
Sorry, you've lost me.
By Pearl Jam, but
No, yeah,
I was really trying to segue into a question about his logo rather than
I'll
anything
leave.
else.
Sorry.
Chris, so maybe you want to pipe down.
You did ask for carols.
I did.
It's about as close as I'm going to get.
It's better singing voice than me. No, so the logo is was helped designed for me by a really good friend called Sean, of which one of the beers, which you should all have, Wonderment, that's a beer dedicated to him. Say thank you for all the help that he's given me over the last 2 years around branding and telling me off when I use the wrong color and making sure I use the right font and the right size, and sending me WhatsApp messages if I do a social media post and I've gone off and used the wrong yellow. He's like on me like a car bonnet.
That's cool. That's cool. That's dedication, actually.
Oh yeah, and
Like
and
that.
I've learned a lot around a lot of that sort of stuff with him over the last year.
Your social media is like on point. How your posts and all that go out for Instagram. It's like everything's like you've got that sort of look and feel about everything that's consistent, which is cool.
That's one. Yeah, we've learned a lot around that kind of stuff over the last year or so. And Charlie, who can't make it tonight, he's just taken those kind of guidelines and rules and just run with it. And a lot of that social media content you see is all down to him. All the videoing, the background stuff from the malt miller recording day, that was all purely down to him. It's funny, I actually got exchanged some messages with Stiffo about that, and he was like, that's the first time they've actually had someone else recording a recording day and actually had seen that being documented as someone recording all the different shots and all the there's loads of outtakes, and we were messing around quite a lot throughout the day, especially when I started to take over his snap thing. You see that in one of the videos. But no, so going back to the logo. So the logo, we started out with one logo, and after about 18 months to 2 years, kind of when we were going through trying to start the brewery and set it up and all this sort of stuff, and then when we found the new location, which wasn't a busy town centre or busy kind of town location, it was actually a lot more rural, on a farm, in a building that was like a converted cattle shed. It kind of felt like we needed something that better reflected the location we were in, but then also something that was a bit more welcoming, a bit kind of softer in how it looks and how it presents on cans, and something that was a bit more approachable and kind of fitted in a little bit better with the.
Did you not have a copyright thing as well with the original logo?
We had a really weird. So what happened was someone was I don't know, flicking through Instagram somewhere, and they saw the star that we had with the M in it. But it was a company that made like paragliders, like the engine powered fans on the back with like the big parachutes, and they go gliding around. And they had manufactured a particular paraglider model called the Maverick, and someone sent it to me into my mate Sean, and we're like, oh look, I think someone's stolen this off you. And we then went and looked at it, and they'd actually released that about 5 years earlier. Complete coincidence. My mate Sean was like, I've never seen this, and we looked around and there was no one else like it, and that was one of the other reasons we're like, do you know what, actually let's just step away from that, take a rethink on the location and what we're doing. And that's what he came up with. So the idea with the shape is it lends itself towards the barn building that we're in, so you've got that kind of shape that gives you that kind of sense of feeling and impression that goes with it, and then it's then really easily reusable, and you'll see us use it a lot in a lot of different ways of putting pictures or things in it, putting different text in it, moving it around in different ways. So it's a really flexible kind of thing, and it works well on merch and cans and all that kind of thing. And with having it on the bottom there, that, like you'll see on a lot of cans designed by a lot of breweries, there is a common element that moves all the way through it, but we can change the color and all that sort of stuff to play around with what we're doing.
Was it intentionally designed as an M as well?
I think that just all kind of falls into the overall concept and design of it. So it was never meant to look like an M, but the development of the design was supposed to suggest that to you. I mean, this is one of the clever things about my mate Sean, who I say, he's really good at colouring in, is how a good designer can infer those things into a logo or a branding. And we've never said, this looks like an M. We've never said that anywhere ever. But it's fascinating that you've looked at that and gone, well, it does look a bit like an M, doesn't it? Because what you want, as I've been told, is you want people to see that shape. Well, hello, we've got an interloper. We want people to be able to see that shape and then think of us.
Oh,
That's what you want. That's what that shape to represent. That people just.
I want a hug.
You want to hug?
Yeah.
We all want a hug.
Elsie.
I want to hug
Don't we
too,
all?
Elsie.
No.
Elsie's been to Snow White pantomime today, so she's in costume.
Full
Yeah, she
costume
looks
dress.
Yeah, when
They got her up on stage and everything, didn't they?
Well, you got one of your dwarfs there.
when you
Thanks.
the man called?
He's behind you.
Oh,
Ah.
doesn't she
Very
look
good.
cute
No,
as a
she-
button?
no,
she
he's
really
not.
does.
Are you going off to bed then? Yeah. Bye.
Bye.
Night night.
Oh, love that hint.
Don't sleep
What
too
a
long.
cutie.
Well, listen, you've heard it here first. It does look like an M, but kudos as well, Hoddy, on the good stuff and calling out all the malt and the hops and the yeast. I like that.
Yeah,
and
the
the
melty
fishy
bits.
gravity. Roots
I
to
just
homebrew.
I want to jump in on that point before Tricky tells us what he's drinking, because he's probably finished it by now. Alix, you need to have a
Yes.
word with Hoddy. And I'm going to be honest with you,
Yes.
after every single one of the beers that we made on the podcast when you and Andy were on, which was that last time? Last time? Maybe
Yeah,
one?
2 weeks ago.
Okay. You need to convince him to use Pomona in this beer.
Interesting.
Well, I don't think I need to. I think you're already doing that for me.
This beer needs Pomona, Hoddy. It needs it. This is a cracker. I'm already on to my second can. Tricky's unlucky, mate. But this is a cracker of a beer, but it needs Pomona.
I think we're pushing on an open door. Alex just needs to make it happen.
I'll just pop by. It'll be fine.
Pop
There you
by.
go.
It'll be
Sorted.
good. I think
It's only-
we have
it's only
that
about
You're
an
on my
hour
list.
run.
You're on my visit list, to be fair. So
Yeah.
Cool. Come and see
You're
us.
on Alex's hit list.
But just talking about this beer for a minute, I know I've been talking a very long time. It's
Yeah,
kind
we're
of
only
a-
at 23 minutes.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for the reminder. I'll take it to 25. There's definitely there's quite a malt presence coming through on this beer. Like there's there's kind of a nuttiness that I get on the aroma, and also like an ever so slight sort of resinous note. I think that probably comes possibly from the Azaka. But otherwise, it's a very, very nice beer. Cheers, Hoddy.
Cheers. It's Azaka is a funny. No, it's not a funny hop. I'm trying to think what. It's really complex, as from a hop perspective, and I think that's what I kind of like about that blend and using it in this beer. It's used hop side, so there's a load of it in the whirlpool. Well, there's like 2 kilos of it in the whirlpool, and then like another 2.5-3 kilos in the dry hop. And then like another kilo and a half of Citra, and then something like 800 grams odd of Mosaic in the dry hop as well. I think that just gives it that complexity. And then again in there as well, there's the mix of the Golden Promise in there as well, the extra pale. I've been trying to switch malt suppliers for ages because I wasn't able to get malt from Simpsons for ages because they just weren't accepting new customers. But I managed to get switched over to them in time to make this beer. So yeah, we managed to get the good, proper Simpsons Golden Promise in there as well, which just makes such a difference.
Awesome malt.
Difference. Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
that's the malt characteristic I'm picking up on. For
Yeah.
sure. I do agree. Zaka is one of those kind of hops that can give you like a little bit of like woodiness, perhaps.
Yeah,
Kind of comes through, but sort of in lesser extent to the sort of hot, the kind of fruit forward flavor profile. But it's great beer. Anyway, Tricky, I know that was 25 minutes. What
No,
are you
keep going,
drinking?
Owen. Keep going. Well, Royal Mail did me dirty this week, and my main box of Maverick beers are sat in a depot in Hounslow currently, not going
Shocking.
anywhere, which sucks because
It's,
I put the
it's
order in
unlike
nice
your
and
Royal
early.
Mail. Tricky. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
no, they
You're-
usually do such good service for
yeah,
me. So,
they're really good.
so I have got a couple of Hoddy's beers, but the stronger ones, I think, and yeah, I'll open them later on when everyone else is drinking them as well. But I have got for my first beer a beer that was sent to me from
Yeah,
Trapped
got
Under
that.
Ice, or Dave Goddard, and he was actually my Secret Santa. So for our Patreons, we organised a little Secret Santa beer swap this year, one of the many benefits that you will gain from joining that little group. And this is Ice Pirates, which Dave went and brewed with Disruption is Brewing. So, yeah, it's a legit commercial beer, 7% oat cream Nipah, and it's got, where are the hops? Nectaron, Citra, and Galaxy in there. And it's 7%. So, yeah, the can artwork is awesome
It's
on there.
super
as well.
professional labels, isn't it?
Ice-
Even
yeah,
and
yeah.
on the bottle as well.
Ice
yeah.
Pirate, so you've got a piratey looking guy there and a pirate ship
Riding
in the
a
background.
polar bear.
Riding a polar bear. So it's definitely like, the names reflected in the artwork on that one. And the beer itself is absolutely lush. So super soft, that creamy kind of mouthfeel from the oats, and I think there's a bit of lactose in there as well.
Yeah, there is
And it's
lactose
just
in it. Sure.
bags of tropical fruit on there. So yeah, the Nectaron I think is there's a little bit of that kind of New Zealand limey character, and then just loads of that kind of Citra Galaxy tropical fruit thing that you would expect as well. So it's delicious. It's a really nicely made beer, and I'm very impressed. And he also sent me a t-shirt.
Oh wow!
Nice.
So
Free merch.
I've got the t-shirt as well. So yeah,
I get a t-shirt on my Secret Santa as well. I've got it on underneath. So it was at the Brew Britannia one. That's
Ian.
Ian sent me. Oh, he hooked me
Ian
up.
Benfeld.
Unreal. Yeah.
His
what a
beers are
dude.
phenomenal, mate.
I sent you a picture.
Sorry. His wife's beers are phenomenal. His wife's beers are amazing.
Sorry, Ian, if you're listening. Ignore Chris.
yeah.
I'm
So
not sorry.
I've also got for later on an impy that he sent me as well.
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
I'll save that till
Can
a
I
little
just
bit
say,
further in.
Tricky? I got the Impy and I got that beer that you're drinking.
You've
right
had the
now.
impy already, haven't you?
The Impy's gone. That particular beer, I had that the day before I started to feel really bad. So, I think it was Tuesday, I was watching Die Hard because
Right.
it's not Christmas unless
Are you
watch
trying to say his
Die
beer
Hard.
made you ill then, Chris? Is
No,
that...
not at all.
Do I admit now, I've never seen Die Hard.
Oh, what?
Controversial.
I only watched Home Alone for the first time,
What?
in 2020.
Yippee
Live
ki
under a
wasabi.
rock during
And
your
honestly,
childhood?
that Home Alone film, it was I think people only like it because they watched it as a kid. It is awful. It's
I think-
badly written. It's
I
badly
think you're showing
acted.
your age.
Oh,
Die
Really,
Hard,
Alex.
Die Hard isn't a brilliant movie from a cinematic perspective.
So you know what I have seen? I have been to a music festival where there was like a Muppets version of Die Hard, and if you've never seen Die Hard, it's very interesting, especially when it's like in the middle of the night at a music festival in a weird tent, and then all of these Muppets are acting out a film you've never seen.
Amazing.
I'm interested in seeing the
Or
Muppet
Yeah, that
version
sounds
now.
good.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
That was at Shambhala Music Festival, pre-COVID. Yeah.
Was it a live puppet show?
Yeah, it was like Avenue Q-esque kind of thing. So there were people, and there were
Yeah.
people holding puppets, and it was. I mean, people were enjoying it. I had no idea what was going on.
Yeah, I guess if you haven't seen the original, that would be a very strange experience.
And I still
to
haven't
watch
seen
that.
it.
Alex,
Well,
Like
I'm
zero
gonna stick with
context.
my one
Die Hard
part of a
Muppets.
Muppet version of Die Hard. That's all I've seen.
Alex, you have to watch Die Hard.
I'll put it on my to-do list. I've got a
have
pen out
to.
because I feel like we're all going to review our years, and I thought I'd make a list of all the breweries that I visited this year.
you definitely have to watch Die Hard this
I
Christmas. Make
would-
it happen.
I would bet right here, right now, that Alex has been to
Are you going to put bets on how many?
35 breweries.
Okay, let me make the list. I'm going to look like I'm writing for a bit. I've got my calendar up. Let me make the
You're
list.
doing homework.
and
It's
I-
okay. It's
I
good.
reckon 35. In fact, no, what am I saying? There's 5 days in the week. I'm going to go...
Yeah, I reckon you're shooting low.
I'm going to go 68.
Okay.
Wow. I mean,
Put your guesses in the comments, and then when we get
Oh,
to
here
our
we go.
summary of the year.
Do they win a pair of socks if
have
they
a
get it
guess.
right?
Well,
Oh.
I sent all the socks. Rich has
I
all
was
the
going to
socks.
mention that actually, because one thing that did cheer me up after my Maverick beers didn't show up was the early Christmas
Yes!
sock delivery from
And I did
Alix.
send you each a pair, to be fair.
So
you
there
guys
are
have literally the
sets
last
for everyone.
remaining pairs.
But like, you know, these are some high quality
They've got little yeast cells
socks.
on the
Yeah,
on the
yeast
leg.
cells, Lallemand logo. They're sort of folded
Amazing.
across the wrong way, but on
Alex?
the sole it says what does it say? We brew with you as well. So a little
nice.
slogan
I
there.
can add those to my Bath Hass socks that I also have.
Yes.
Teddy
I
G
clearly
reckons
don't do enough
82.
shilling.
Okay.
I think
Okay.
it's good. Way.
Let me
Visitors.
do a quick calculation.
Just going
Right,
back.
you got it's okay. You've got time because I'm
When
in
are we-
April currently. So
Yeah. Okay.
Can
About
I just
half an
say-
hour.
I want to do a quick 5-second beer review of Horizons. Okay, if you're going to buy any beer, so far I've only had 2, but if you're going to buy any beer from Hoddy, buy this one because it's banging.
I just buy them all.
Buy them all.
This is a great beer. It's a great beer. Hoddy, I don't want to hurt your feelings or anything, but this is better than drawing pictures.
Fair enough. No, that's a fair point. I mean, the reason you like it so much is it's got talus in it. That's why.
No, I like it because it's really soft, really creamy, but with a massive fruity backbone. It's a really nice beer. You are so out of focus, it's not even funny, mate.
I know. My camera's just misbehaving. There you go.
You're back. You're back in
Right.
focus.
Guys, we are 32 and a half minutes in. Admittedly, we don't have a lot of content for this particular podcast because this is more about just having a laugh, having a few beers, and moving to an
Exactly.
after party where we get to have a beer with everyone. But guys, let's have a quick synopsis of your highlights of the podcast, of the guests that we've had on, the people that we've spoken to, the breweries, the brewers, the companies. What's been your highlight?
45 is my guess.
For the record.
Okay, 45. I'll go first because it's really, really easy for me. Damien from Emperors was a huge thing for me. Not because at
I
that
think you've
point
just
in my
stolen
life.
Andy's choice.
Yeah, literally, MPs this year's been my it's like the big opener, and I wasn't a big MP, like didn't really get into MPs, and then I think after that I was just like, holy crap, and then
That-
I ended
that
up
man-
doing my own.
That man has a special touch when it comes to, well, whoever brews them for him has a special touch
Oh,
for
he's
like
got
impy stouts. And I know that he
Yeah.
does a lot of the work himself, but my God.
thick, sort of, yeah, MPs.
Final gravity of like 1102 or something on one of them, wasn't it? It was ridiculous.
So the average FG of his impies are at a minimum 1050.
Yeah, that's about where they should be, though, to be fair.
That's the minimum. That's the minimum FG.
Yeah.
That's
What
what,
he-
I've been working with Andy on with Damon on a recipe or two recently, and yeah, he was saying to me, yeah, minimum FG is 1050. Nothing
got
lower
skills.
than that.
Boy's got skills. Second highlight for me was Radim. Because Radim
Legend.
is amazing. As a human being, he's amazing. When you meet him in person, he's amazing. When you listen to what he's got to say about beer, he's amazing. When he gives you little tidbits and says you really should try this, fucking listen to the guy, because it's not like it's a company that started in 2014 or something. The boy knows what he's on about. Listen to what he says.
Nice hat,
and-
by the way, Chris.
this one. Yeah.
That
And the last
was like
one
my
for
summer
me,
cap.
the last, and it's not specifically a guest, but I am going to big myself up because we've had a lot of comments from people about this particular episode, and that was when I talked Owen to death, and we talked about the biochemistry of the mash. there are so many people who've contacted me and gone, do you know what? It makes sense now. And that, even if it was like 5 people, which it really wasn't, it was a lot of people. But having people reach out to me and say, do you know what? It actually makes sense. I know what to tweak and how to tweak it, and I know what it's going to do. That for me was a huge thing, and it made me feel good about 3.5 months worth of research.
That was a good episode, Chris. To be fair, it was fun to listen to you babble on about stuff that I didn't really understand. But no, you did make it. You did make it understandable. Hopefully, I helped to make it
You
more
helped
understandable.
tremendously, and I'll tell you why you helped, because you turned around and you went, I don't get that bit, say it again. Or maybe you turned around and said, well, does that mean blah blah blah? And it was like, yes, I've got it. I
think you helped steer Chris into slightly more simplified explanations of some of the stuff at points during the podcast.
Yeah. I love that episode. I thought it was a good
I was
one.
the dumbass, the basic.
Can you actually explain this?
I think
No one does a vacant look better than you, Owen. let's be
Can you
honest.
use some smaller words for me, please, Chris?
there's a beer name for you. Vacant look.
Vacant look. There we go. Yeah.
We can
Or
collab.
up to vacant gesture.
Collab if you want, Hoddy.
Don't know about too similar to vacant gesture.
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
if you're going to call anything with vacant, and it's got to be called pretty vacant, doesn't it?
Maybe so.
Who knows?
Just saying. Anyway, I've done my bit. Go on.
The thing is, Chris, you went first and you stole a lot of the good stuff.
Not really.
There's not much
I'm
to
looking
cover,
through
really.
The list.
You know.
Yeah.
But I thought Charles Farron was pretty good.
Yeah, that was excellent.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Really sort of get into trying to understand just a single hop. And I think what was really interesting as a follow-up in that theme was also talking to I think it was WHC as well as Lallemand, in terms of all 3 of those were along the same theme, in so much as we had some hops and we had some yeast, and we all used them in slightly different ways. But what was really interesting was pulling out the singularity, the kind of thread that kept all of those beers together. And I think that was just a really interesting.
Was that the Farham's one? Did you
point.
say?
Yeah, you know. And
Apart
so
from
much
mine,
as-
obviously.
Yeah, all the podcasts where we basically
from
brewed
Brewery
with the
with
same
Simcoe.
stuff and then
Yeah.
got to compare and contrast was, yeah, again, that's also something that I would have said. So I'm running out of stuff to.
Can
Yeah,
I just
don't-
jump
don't
in?
bat
While,
over- don't bat
while
over
Tricky
Simcoe.
and Andy have a think, can I just say to Alix, thank you for coming on and giving us the insight that you did on that particular
That's
yeast.
quite all right.
I'll tell you why, because it's all well and good us 4 absolute muppets sitting here and talking about something that we're drinking and going, I can taste that as well. I've got, and you going, well, actually, the predominant, aroma is this, and it's like, well, shit, that's what we're getting.
Yeah.
It
I think that
proves-
biotransformation stuff and all of the best practice documents that we have online are very underutilized, and people don't realise they're there, and they're so easily accessible by anyone. Like, they're not written in like scientific jargon.
Alix, I've actually referred to those whilst having a regal moment, and I have utilised them in a proper way with my next brew, which admittedly is a stupid impy stout.
Was it the
but
biotransformation one?
It was the biotransformation document. I designed a new version of my IPL, which Tricky's going to hate because it's not a lager, but I don't care. And I've decided I'm actually going to make it with Pomona, but I'm going to utilise biotransformation by using proper hops in it this time to get the biotransformation. And if I can grab some Phantasm, I'm going to do that as well.
If you can add the hops at the start of fermentation or add them sequentially throughout fermentation, you'll get more of that biotransformation.
Well,
I think they're all interesting things to play with, but if you're looking at like brewing a new style or something like that, we have a whole thing on lagers, a whole thing on Belgian beers, a whole thing on IPAs, it's just really honestly very useful and very well written and easily understandable.
Well, that's literally one of the things that I took from it was throw your dry hop into the fermenter and then transfer the beer from the boil onto it with the yeast. And that's where I'm going to go with to see what happens, because honestly, it was eye-opening for me, being able to sort of pick those things up and say, do you know what, this is worth giving a shot to. So don't think that the 3 hours that you spent getting drunk with us was wasted, because it really wasn't.
Absolutely not. That's why I'm back.
It
No
was
drink
phenomenal.
time.
It was
Definitely
phenomenal,
never
and
waste
I
time.
really, really enjoyed it. Oh, wait there. Thank you very much, Stiffo. Appreciate that, my old fruit and nut bar.
What
I'm
was
not going
that?
to say what it is, but thanks, Stiffo. You're a legend.
Sounds ominous. If anyone is
Very.
at Beerex this year, we are doing a tasting for biotransformation flavours. We have like a spike kit for that. So
Where's Beer
look
X?
Beerex is in Liverpool. It's Seba.
I can make that. It's only up. It's
I
the
want to
wrong
say
side
it's
of
in
the Pennines.
March. Someone could confirm to
It's
me.
something like that. I've not seen any dates and stuff.
They've
I've
sent
never
out
been
the
able to
I
make
think you
it.
can sign up for tickets now
Can you?
if you're a member of Seba. I did see that email. I went for the first time last year, and I hadn't been as a professional brewer, but honestly, I think it was really good. There's a lot of home brewers there. There's a lot of small breweries there. There's a lot of big brewers there. Lots of suppliers. You know, all of the supplier fields for the industry. And it's it's a really good event, and we're putting on a biotransformation, spiked biotransformation tasting there. So
You see,
there you go.
I've been beaten by
It's
Liam.
March.
Liam has told us it's the correct. It's not. It's the wrong side of the Pennines, Liam. You know this.
Fight.
But if you're a member of Seba or you're interested in brewing, it's honestly a great day out.
Are you going to be there?
I will be there. On
I'll
the
give you a
Lallemand
high
stand.
five. I'll give you a high five as I walk past.
Perfect. As long
That's
as I'm
what we
a lot
want.
in deep in conversation, then which tends to happen, especially the first day. I don't think I stopped talking the first day.
I'll bring you a bottle of water to help your throat.
If you bring me a bit of food and a bottle of water, if anyone's going, that would be great, because I always forget to eat.
Right.
And there's just beer on the stand, so then you just end up drinking loads of beer.
You see, you say this now,
Sounds
Alex, but I
awful.
know that you like vegetarian pizza, so I'll grab you a stuffed crust on my way past.
Perfect. Oh, I'm in. That sounds great.
Sold.
I'll save you some socks. Different socks. We have
The
new
Malt
socks.
Miller crew are going to be there.
Oh,
Yeah,
there you
they
go.
are always there. It's a good
That's
time.
Circling us back to the theme of conversation, a few things from the chat.
Yeah, that was a good pod.
What, the
Joel
Andechs?
Catio called out the drink along with Andechs was a lot of fun. We did a curated drink along from. Remind me where the beers were from.
That was the
Brew-
Malt
Beer
Miller.
merchants.
Beer
No,
Merchants.
beer merchants, that one.
Yeah.
An Andechs Hefe was
Yeah.
in there. That was
Yeah,
a lot
yeah,
of
yeah.
fun. A great beer.
It was their Hefe hell.
That was
Yes.
my. What's that? Did I not break my Andechs
You
virginity?
did. You
that
did.
time?
Did.
Yeah. Popped it.
And
We did.
I
We-
tell you something, that is one brewery that everybody should pop right now. And
But
if you
the-
haven't, go and order some.
Chris, the Oktoberfest episode, did we not then buy? I'm sure we got more Andechs beers as part of it all at the time.
did.
And
We
and
did.
even like the lagers and all that were just insane. Like,
Yep.
really, really good. And I think is it
Where are
because
they
of the
based? I don't think I've heard of them.
Germany.
Germany.
German
okay.
brewer.
They're not
It's
on
all
my list
decocted.
currently.
Yeah.
Monastic
I
German brewery, Alex.
I think they're sorted for
Okay.
yeast.
The base,
Yeah,
the
very,
base.
They probably are. I mean, it's
Very
Germany.
old.
They tend to be pretty sorted for most
Yeah,
things.
yeah, yeah.
They're limited on what they can buy.
Alex, Google the brewery.
I don't think
or
they're going to be using
pictures
Pomona
of the
anytime
brewery.
soon, that's for sure.
No.
Go
no,
to
definitely
Google
not.
Images
Strictly,
Okay.
Definitely not.
and have a look at the brewery. It's amazing. So it's a monastery. Oh, you've just muted yourself, Alex, in case you were wanting to say something.
It
I know, I
is.
said Andechs, not Andrex.
Yeah, not Andechs. No, you'll probably just find puppies.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
It absolutely is worth a visit.
Oh my gosh, it's beautiful. It looks like it's
Yeah.
AI.
Yeah, they've been
Cathedral.
brewing since the year Blob Dot. I'm not sure they had like numbers when they started brewing. They were invented afterwards. But my God, every single one of their beers that we've ever had, they have the Special Hell, which is in a red bottle, the Volts beer, which is in a green bottle. They have the Hefe Hell in a yellow bottle. Just buy every single bottle of Andechs that you can. Sit down, quiet moment, and drink, and just experience the perfection that is their beers.
Easily, I would say the best
Body.
Hefe on the planet.
Oh,
Yeah.
by a
These are some
margin.
bold claims. I'll have
No,
to
no,
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
but it 100% is. There's nothing, I don't think, that comes close.
Alex,
It's just that
by a
body.
margin. By a margin.
Okay,
It's
I'll order
great.
some. I've got it open in a tab now. I'll get some.
Have you ever had Allagash White?
Yes.
Better than that.
Yes,
Better than
I
that.
think
Yeah.
so.
And that's Belgium.
Once.
That's
That's
like,
a wit beer, really, so it's
Yeah.
not quite
it's not
fair
that.
comparison, I guess. But that is a fantastic beer. To be
It
fair,
is a good
yeah.
beer, but it's
Pepper
Not as
lemon
good.
thing.
Not a
not a
patch.
touch on Andechs,
Yeah, but it's yeah.
in my
it's
opinion.
apples and oranges.
Yeah.
Isn't it? It's different.
It's
Yeah,
different
styles,
styles, yeah.
It's a fantastic brewery. I mean, they're monks. What else do they do?
Pray.
What
That's
what
it.
else
Make
do they do?
So,
But
plenty of
then-
time to refine their craft. Yeah,
They,
It's,
they pray to their Lord and they make a
See,
ton of beer.
there you
I mean,
go, Chris. There's the reason that God exists, because God helps Andechs brew the best beer,
in
best
that
wheat beer in the world.
In that
Yeah.
case, hallelujah.
Stop praying.
Argue that, Chris.
Yeah.
I can't argue that. I've drank their beer. I can't argue that. However, absolutely just epic beers, and recommended for literally. I'm pretty sure everyone who listens to the podcast has tried them. But my God, what a beer! What a beer!
Brewed by Rick. Brewbit Rick said Jurex beers are quite hard to get a hold of. Good pun.
Yeah, Rick.
Oh, Rick.
So Rick. Oh,
You see, the
Andechs
scrape in the
beers,
barrel.
Give me the trots. Another one, good one
Oh
coming
my
out
God.
of Harmon. All the dad jokes are rolling
Oh
out now.
man, I
But
can't.
what
I
about-
can't make the joke I really want to make.
What about the pet versus glass episode? I mean, we didn't have a guest there, but that was a great episode. I
Well
mean,
done,
we
Chicky.
really
Yeah.
got into detail on
Yeah.
how to package beer and the upsides and downsides of various materials. That was
Yes,
pretty
we
cool.
did.
we did science and shit, didn't we? Yeah.
We did some
Actual
science.
Did you wear a white coat?
No, but I should have done. Now that I think about it. For the
I'll be
video
honest
as well.
with you, Alex. I've been doing science for a long time. I had a tear in my eye with the way that Tricky.
I didn't realise you
did
were a
it.
scientist,
It
Chris. You've never mentioned that before on the podcast. Will you tell us more about your background?
No,
He's so quiet. I never knew I was tricky.
but I will say I had a tear in my eye with the way that he controlled variables, and it was stunning. It was stunning.
He used
It's
to
like-
use the correct terminology as well, didn't he, Chris?
I still do.
Mostly.
Because you're all wrong. But yeah, except for Alex, who's same level as me. But we had, we had some episodes where they would say things, and it was oxidization's one of them. Pet hate.
Is that even a word?
No,
Oxidization?
it's not a fucking word.
No, it's not a word.
But they were saying it, and it was things like that I used to correct, but now I don't need to because Tricky's learnt. I've hit him over the head with a ruler enough times that he's now learnt.
Yeah, the knuckles have been wrapped sufficiently to make the words stick now.
Yeah, it was
Nobody likes
superb.
an oxidization situation, do they?
Yeah, nobody, because it's
Teach
not
her
real.
Chris with a belt.
Yeah.
And hold on, there was also Moot. I really enjoyed talking.
Oh,
to
that
Moot.
was a good brewery. That was a good brewery to have on. They were good.
That was one I
And-
missed, but then listened back to, and it was excellent. I must say,
That
just
was
as a
great.
listener, it was good. Yeah.
And secretly, the reason I really enjoyed that was
What's it
because
Participate.
It's
they
the, I
shared.
think it's the Women's Day brew. Oh, is it? No, it's something to do with voting. I have no idea. It has a load of people voting on it. Brew your
Maybe-
pineapple and raspberry sour.
Maybe it was during the election.
Maybe it's just pro-democracy.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, great.
I don't know, but it sounds good. Tell us what it's like, Alex.
Oh, it's a birthday. It's a birthday beer. I don't know why it's got a load of people voting on it.
They should have sent some to the US.
I did. I mean, they gave us a bunch when we went and visited, and I honestly forgot that I went to go visit them, so I've just had to add them to my list. But my list is absolutely. I'm done, but it's not going to be. I think I'm going to have missed some. I know I'm going to have missed some.
I'm nowhere near it.
We'll give
am
you
I?
another 10 minutes, Alex, in case any sort of pop back into your head and you add them on.
You want me
I
to?
need
I
fresh
can.
glass.
I think there's a trip where I went to go and visit Brew York that I haven't like itemized on my calendar, so I'm going to have to just quickly do some digging that I. have a look.
Back check your calendar.
I've already done that. I've been through week by week the entirety of this year.
So, Mark Collyfish has said, I've had Contours and Horizons. What's next? Now, I've got a question for Hoddy.
Yes.
What is in the bottle?
That is...
It's a double IPA, isn't it?
It's a double IPA. So
Ooh.
there is a beer that has now become our most popular beer in the tap room and on trade sales. It is another 6.2% big hazy number, but it has quite an interesting trademark conflict in the sense that it's called Big Bird because it's big and it's yellow. And on the pump clip and everything, we literally have Big Bird, and we even sell T-shirts. People love it that much. People buy T-shirts with the Big Bird on it, with the word Big Bird underneath. And it's been that popular. And I've been thinking about us making a double IPA for a while for next year. So I did a trial batch of Bigger Bird. So it is basically an 8.5% version of Big Bird.
I see what you did there.
There you go. And Charlie came up with an absolute genius variation on the pump clip design, where literally all you've got is 1 foot of Big Bird in it. That's it, because it is a bigger bird. And yeah, so that's basically what you've got. So I did a homebrew batch version to test out how I think.
And that's what we've got.
That's what you've got, yeah. So it's.
Are you angling towards us opening that bottle, Owen, by any chance?
No, well, I was intrigued.
He's going to go big. Go big, go early.
I'm halfway through a can of Sunny.
Straight on the dipper.
I am probably in favour of us opening that, but equally, as I want to answer Mark's question, which was, if you've had Contours and Horizons, what's next?
Yeah.
Sunny or Pictures, I would say.
So I'm on
One
Sunny at the
I'm
minute.
sorry, Hoddy. I'm sorry, mate.
He gets so excited he had to
I
crack
went
it.
in and I tried to find one of your beers and I saw that and I thought, nah,
That's fine.
sorry,
That's all
mate. I had to. There you
No,
go,
it's fine.
Alex. That's what you're missing.
Perfect.
You
My
need this
review of
beer.
the pineapple and raspberry weird voting beer. I don't understand why it's voting still, even after drinking it. Is it's not got enough fruit in it, but it's quite sour. I do like a very sour.
Okay. That's very
Only
succinct
mildly.
and leaving us wanting more is that review. I'll
It's
be
not
honest.
enough. Like, I want it to be like well, I don't want it to be a smoothie, but I just want it to be a bit more than just acidic.
You want it
Okay.
to be heartburn. That's what you're saying.
Yeah,
Oh
that's
yeah,
right.
I can drink sours all night. Like, yeah, I
Yeah,
love sours.
I'm-
I think a lot of the ones I've lined up on my fridge, apart from the mystery cans, are sours.
I'm getting to an age now where that's
Interesting.
just a night of pain, I think.
I'm trying to embrace. I turned 30 this year, so maybe I need to
Yeah.
embrace it while I can.
yeah, exactly.
yeah.
Get involved, Alex. Seriously, get involved. while it's still
Don't rub
there.
it.
And he's
Yeah.
drinking the sours with a Rennie chaser. Like, each round.
I'm sure Vault City will do a Rennie sour beer soon.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
An all-in
If
one.
they haven't,
They'll
they
call
can
it
have
an
what I did
all-in
for
one.
free.
Yeah.
But I will say, like, because Stiffo has tried it, as his comment then just said, was I would be interested to see what people's reaction to it is on the pod. I think a live reaction of that, I think, would be very interesting indeed.
All right. Well, let's line up the double IPA.
What
for
colour was the
next-
lid?
The next beer.
It's got a Union Jack on it.
Okay.
Mixture.
Mine,
Well, no,
big
it was a mixture. There was some gold and maybe some Union Jacks. I've just
Yeah.
had a mixed bag of
no, it's the
Right.
one in the
blueberry tea.
bottle.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
just
it's in a
basically
bottle.
bottle. Yeah, that's probably it. Yeah,
That's
it.
that. Yeah. We
I
cracked
think-
that one. Okay.
This
Oh.
isn't how you sell it, right? In an unmarked bottle with a Union Jack on the lid.
It's no, it's not
No.
for sale. It's purely my bloody camera driving me around the twist. It is a no, it's a trial batch. So it's
Okay.
I did like a 20 litre trial batch because I wanted to play around with what the final gravity would be like, dry hopping rates, bitterness, and just kind of get a feel for it
Well, you
before
were
I then
talking
go.
earlier about doing the other one that was a bit too dry, and then we were talking about Stiffy's V3
Yeah.
one. My personal opinion is I think for a core range beer, it takes about 7 goes to get
Oh,
it
at
like
least.
how you want it.
I'm still never happy with any of my beers. Eternally, that could be tweaked. That could be better. That could be
Is
better.
that right?
Yeah.
All the time.
I
All the
think
time.
7 goes though. I would say 7. That would be my 7 brews of it, and I'd be pretty I'd move on to something else to focus on.
Well, so we're looking at the wrapping up for the end of the year and all this sort of stuff. And Charlie pulled out. I hadn't realised an interesting stat that since we've been open now about 18 months. We've averaged producing or releasing a new beer once a month. We've only rebrewed the same beer, rebrewed a beer 3 times in the whole 18 months. Everything has been different every single time.
Can I just point out, Hoddy, that you're a commercial brewer now, not a home brew, mate?
I know.
Yeah,
It's the
you
home
kind of
brewer.
need everything to be the same.
It's the home brewer in me. I can't stop it.
Also, Alex, you've just given Stiffo a nickname that I'm not going to be able to stop.
It can be good. That's fine. They can have it. That's okay.
I'm renaming him on our chat. It's happening right now.
Sorry,
Oh my god!
the thing with being a commercial brewer is you really have to you do have to produce the same beers again because people. Well, it depends on how small your tap room is, but people honestly want consistency. That's all that you need is consistency. You don't.
Yeah, but then
the beer doesn't necessarily have to be actually any good. I mean, people still buy Stella. Do you know what I mean? But
True.
if they know it's the same every time.
People do come back for some of the different beers, but I find actually, definitely in our tap room, is a lot of people like the variety. When they come back, it's like, what's new? And I think there's a balance to be had between the two. Alex, don't get me wrong, because I think now we're going into small pack. I need to start honing some of that stuff down a bit more. But I think people, I like that. I like that turning variety, and I think people like that kind of variety when they come into the tap room, at least. Anyway,
I think
Collie's got a point.
It's very true. There's a couple of beers people come in and ask for. So Luna, which is an all Citra hazy pale, I think it's 4.6 that I've made twice earlier in the year, and people do come back and go, when are you going to get Luna back on? So
I think the other thing to point out is if you brew them far enough apart, and also I think we give the this is not to badmouth anyone, but the general public won't necessarily taste the nuanced differences between things. They don't have to be the same beer every single time, but they have to be similar enough that no one's going to be like, that's a different beer, that isn't what I recognise.
Yeah. No, you're right. No, 100%.
I think there's a balance there, isn't there? I think there's that's why breweries often have core beers, but they also then experiment and create that variety, because I think you've got hardcore craft drinkers tend to want to go different, and then you've got more routine, I go to the pub every Friday that wants the same thing, and they want that consistency. So I think it's trying to kind of encapsulate both markets, isn't it?
I think the majority of, as much as we love to think that we're most of the market is not craft beer nerds. I'm really sorry.
It's really not.
I'm really sorry. Right. The thing I've learned more and more and more is that we are such a tiny, tiny minority, and that most people just want to drink lagers, maybe a pale ale, and they've recently learned what a hazy is.
It's like people who go on holiday and they go to the same all-inclusive place year after year because they know they like it.
Because that's what they like, and it's the same every time, and it's a known quantity.
What? You
And
might
I
I
do
know what I
think, to
like,
your
and I like
point,
what I
Owen,
bloody well say.
a lot of breweries in this since COVID have very much scaled down their seasonal stuff and have very much focused back on the core range and just having those fewer SKUs because that's ultimately what actually makes a business profitable.
Yeah. Yeah, because you get economies
As
of
much
scale,
as
right?
we'd
You're
love
brewing
them
that
all to
same-
make
Yeah,
a million different beers every year.
yeah.
But I think
So-
the thing is,
um,
that doesn't pay, does it?
No, that doesn't make you money. And the breweries that have survived COVID have been the ones that have streamlined and have cut off the excess and have optimized their process to minimize waste. And it's really unsexy and really boring, but that ultimately is how you make money as a brewery. And I think
But then
pre-COVID, we were in the heyday of beer where you could make whatever you want and it would sell.
yeah,
And
but
now we're not.
But Hoddy's it's like a new brewery, and he's finding his
Yeah.
feet on different
Yeah.
beers. So actually doing
Absolutely.
the mix and then having that tap room to have a feedback
Yeah,
is
100%.
like so good. And then that way you can then in future you'll cherry pick the very best ones and then
Well, this is
develop
it.
those.
Which is exactly what we're doing. And
Yeah.
we're really lucky that our tap room is super popular, and we get amazing support from the local area.
And you've got like musicians, you've got food trucks
Yeah,
and all sorts.
exactly.
Yeah.
And just and I've never yet had to
Such
go out
unity.
and try and sell our beer to any venues. Any
Yeah,
trade
so I think,
sales we've
and
done,
also
they've
once
come
you
to
go into
us.
small pack as well, once people are ordering the beer further afield, they need the quality and they need the consistency. Otherwise,
Correct.
they will never order from your brewery again. Like
Yeah.
people are fickle. Do you know what I mean? If you haven't reduced your DO, so in your can, when you send it to them, they open it and it isn't like pond sludge. Do you know what I mean? Like these things are so important because the first impression is the thing that matters, and then
Definitely.
also having those core ranges. Like I know Double Barreled this year are very much focused on their like kitchen disco, whatever it's called. I'm pretty sure it's called Kitchen
Supermarket.
Disco. But it's the one that's available in the supermarket, but it's also the one that they like. You would have they sell loads of it. Do you know what I mean? Like it's all well and good wanting more of these things, but unless you're going to buy a huge volume of them, it takes that time to hone that down to exactly what you want. And if you're in the infancy, then you're going to need to be like bearing that in mind, I would say. But then I have no desire to open a brewery. So.
Stupid to open a brewery, Alex. Let's be honest, you'd have to be crazy.
But
Yeah.
you are.
Who
Hoddy,
would
you
do
are
that,
crazy.
Hoddy? Who would do
I know.
that?
I'll tell you who would open a brewery. Somebody who doesn't rely on it for an income. That's who would
There is
open
that.
a brewery.
Yeah, there is
But
that.
one thing that I will say is, okay, Vocation, Hop, Skip and Juice.
Yeah,
You've got loads of their other beers. They produce it all the time, consistently. It's in all the supermarkets. You can buy it in 12 packs off their website. You've got breweries like Track. You've got Sonoma. I imagine they sell more Sonoma than anything else combined.
Well, half of Daya's production is Steady Rolling Man.
Steady
that's
rolling,
alright,
man.
yeah.
Half
Absolutely.
of their volume.
That's bad.
And that's what makes a sustainable business that you can, plan for the future on.
Yeah, and as soon as you get that one beer that everybody wants, that everybody's going to buy, you can switch over to that and you can say, right, this is going to be 30%, 40%, 50% of our output, and you can produce other stuff to deal with us idiots who will buy, whatever. But those people who just want a beer, they're going to say, right, I want this beer, I want 12 cans of it, I want to be able to have a beer when I get home from work, and I want that beer, and I want it to be exactly the same. And that's what makes you a profitable business. It's not producing the, cherry chocolate Russian Imperial lactose-laden pastry stout with, that's not what makes you money. What makes you money is the Sonomas of the
Well,
world.
you
the
need
Steady
that
Rolling Mans of the
solid
world.
beer to
But
then go
that's-
and fuck about doing that other stuff.
If
Really,
you
and-
guys
Exactly.
if you guys
be able
crack
to play with it, right?
if you guys
You need a
crack this
cash cow,
dipper,
don't you? I haven't yet. No, I'm still drinking Horizons, I think.
I've
I've
got his
got-
dipper, and I'm wondering why it is that he's bottled up Sunny Delight and carbonated it.
So come on, then.
Well, I
What's
need to open it
the
now.
review then, chap? What's the review on Bigger Bird?
It did throw me
Right.
a little bit at first because it is literally like fruit juice.
It's like would you not say it's basically like a track dipper? Like that sort of like crazy thick, juicy. It's just that breakfast.
It's in that
juice.
ballpark, but there's a very like citrus forward. It's that kind of like breakfast juice mixed
But
citrus.
the
kind of
drinkability-
thing that I get
It
on
is.
this.
It's
Big time.
very, very drinkable for something which is ridiculously high ABV.
Oh, and I'm keep going back because I'm just getting that. It's like that tingle in your tongue sort of thing. You're just like, oh, I'm
I'm going
salivating.
for a palate cleanser.
I love that. Mixing it up with another beer. Yeah, so that's 8.5%. That is.
It's like
That's too
orange
much.
juice, banana juice, orange juice, banana juice. I'm mixing
Blend
my
it
fruits up
together,
here.
Chris. Have
You should
done
do a blend.
I'm-
Yeah, do a
no,
blend.
I'm not going to do that.
He's
Hey,
like, that's
hey,
sacrilege. I'm
um,
not tainting my
not
Andechs. Why
Does
deal
not
with
cost
this?
a fortune to
Hang
make
on.
this though.
Oh yeah, no, it will do. Yeah, FG is like 10.22. So, 8.5%.
Yeah.
OG was very high. Dry hop rate is up in the kind of 18 to 20 grams a litre.
Yeah.
Jeez. No,
Bonkers
don't
amount of
blend them.
strata in there.
Nope.
So what would you need to charge? What would you
That
need to
didn't
charge a
work,
can for that?
Oh, that's going to be in the 7 to 8 quid territory.
Yeah.
For a 440 can of that.
I mean, coming back to Alex's point about, you know,
I was about
if
to. My
beers-
next question was going to be, what are the losses on that? Like, how much of your tank are you actually packaging to sell to the customer?
This is loss maker.
Interesting, you say that though. So I've just started using or trying out some hop products.
Yeah, I
So
was
some
going
of
to
the
say.
advanced hop products. So the other beer you guys have got, which is yes, there will be. So Stiffo has tried that beer as well, and I think he quite liked it as well at the time. He had to drive home, unfortunately, at the time, so he only had a little soupçon. So one of the other beers you've got, which is Wonderment, that's our first experiment with hop products. So that's using the YCH dry hop product of Idaho 7.
Okay.
And it's the difference in the losses you don't have, or the reduction in the losses from using hop products is quite astonishing, actually. I reckon we
It's
probably
huge.
got an extra keg and a half off of a 900 litre batch through using
Absolutely.
20% of the dry hop in Dynaboost, because you're not adding, another 2.5-3 kilos of hop matter in there, and then with a good fermenter with a really good racking arm, you can really take it all the way down. The only thing I will say is, and you'll probably see it with this beer when you try it later in Wonderman, is it's kind of dropped partially bright. It's still hazy, but it's a little bit bright, which any other beer of that type and that malt bill and hop bill and stuff like that would not go anywhere near that. But that beer for some reason has.
Are
And I
you
think
using
it's got
kettle
something to do with it.
findings?
No, none at all.
Hoddy, I broke Pomona. What can
Yeah,
I say?
you
I
did,
broke
to be
Pomona, so it's
I was
supposed to
just
be
saying,
You're
easy.
we-
brewing
Mine
on a
was
much
clear.
smaller tank size than like a larger. I mean, I don't know
Yeah.
how big your tanks are.
Yeah,
are they,
50.
so-
That reduction in losses is evident even at the homebrew scale with that kind of stuff. We've
Oh,
talked
yeah,
about
definitely.
it quite a few times, but it's like I think 10% plus yield increase is
Yeah.
fairly easy to achieve, especially if you go like with the hot side and the dry hop,
Yeah.
kind of liquid hop
Additions, for
products
sure.
at the same time.
I mean, the only thing is that I don't think there's any advanced hop products available for Strata yet, which is in that double IPA that's got a load of Strata in it.
That's owned
Right,
by Crosby, right? So
Yeah,
I
it
don't
is,
think
yeah.
they do liquid products.
No, they don't yet. So, but
They
there
need
will
to
be.
sort that out though.
It's,
How does that
I
work
mean,
with the liquid products? Because do Bath has just not buy the hops and then process them into liquid
Bath
products?
House
or
don't
they-
own the rights to Strata.
so they
So
can't
hops
do it with
are
that
have a
hop.
trademark.
Yeah.
So hops have a trademark, so you're trademarking the plant. So they have an X amount of time that they are owned by you, and you're the only person that can grow them.
Yeah.
So Bath House don't own Strata.
which is a shame
so-
because
So they
Owned by a
as well-
different farm.
so they couldn't do that because it's just
So they
not
can't
their
grow
product.
Strata. They're not allowed.
Right.
and the thing as well is, or at least with Dynaboost and stuff from YCH, is it's not 100% replacement.
Yeah.
So for Dyna Boost,
I
it's
don't
about
think I personally just have of the opinion that like I don't think liquid hop products should be 100% of a replacement.
definitely
like
not.
there's
Not
no
after
reason why
seeing
you
what it's
can't
done
be
with
adding
Wonderland.
Whirlpool and kettle hops as well. I just think that when it gets too much, it goes to like this. Obviously, a lot of them have kind of solvents that they're dissolved in and other things,
Yeah.
and I just think I hate the word chemically, but they get too
No, you're right.
chemically.
Right, 100%. You're right. No,
Everything is a chemical, though.
Yeah.
So,
but I think there's,
yeah,
there's definitely a place for them, and there's a pop that they give. I tried getting hold of Tom Bacon in time for the Wonderman beer that you've got so I wanted to use some of Bath House's stuff, but I just couldn't get hold of him in time. So there's definitely some more
other thing that-
experimentation I want to do next year with some advanced hop products.
The other thing that I know hops are incredibly sexy and everyone wants to talk about hops, but the other thing that actually saves commercial breweries a lot of money is repitching, and a lot of people don't invest the money into doing that, especially from the outset. It's the only raw ingredient you're adding into your beer where you get more at the end than you put in that you
Correct.
can use.
Oh,
It's
I
reusable.
mean, we talked about it last time, Alex, is that the whole harvesting and repitching is, again,
Do you need to do the
something I
acid
want to
wash
look
stuff
into.
as well?
No, you don't necessarily need to acid wash. You do need to oxygenate. You do need an oxygenation point post chilling of your work. That's the only thing you need. And then you need good standard operating procedures. And
a brink
I think,
to store it as well, I guess.
I love
no,
a good
you don't need a
SOP.
brink. You honestly don't need a brink. A bucket with a lid is absolutely fine. Polly's
Right.
repitch 8 generations in one of those homebrew buckets, the like white ones with the green writing and the lid.
Yeah.
Like you absolutely don't let like perfection be the enemy of the good with yeast repitching.
Right.
There's a lot. I think this is like I appreciate that this is. I'm
Alex, you're
talking
doing
to a bunch of
yourself out.
homebrewers.
But you're
No, I
almost
want
like-
people to repitch. I honestly want people to repitch. I would never discourage someone from repitching because the Lallemand yeast, the spec on the yeast is one of the highest on the market. So you know
Right.
you're not going to compound a problem of wild yeast batch to batch to batch, or even batch to 2 batches exponentially.
It's designed that way to repitch, yeah.
It's designed to repitch. We want you guys to repitch. Possibly not homebrewers, but you know that's a different story. I mean, yeast is incredibly affordable at homebrew scale. But if you're repitching, like that is the easiest way you can start saving money. It pays for itself within like 3 brews. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, for sure.
Your yeast bill goes down dramatically, even if you repitched 3 goes. Like you're still thirding the cost that you would have overall. Can you repitch dried yeast in the same way as wet? Yeah, it basically becomes wet yeast. So after it's dried for the first generation, the only difference you're going to find is that you have to oxygenate it on second pitch, or like technically it's called first. It's generation 0 and then generation 1. You need to add oxygen to your wort as you transfer, but that's the only difference. You will actually get a shorter lag time, and actually if you're repitching, you actually get a better flavour because the yeast that you're harvesting off the bottom of your fermenter is the yeast that's fermented your beer really well.
Yeah, exactly.
So about generation 2, generation 3 tends to be like the sweet spot of like, this is my yeast. You will get a small amount of like change in flavour, but it will only be to the benefit of the recipe you're putting it in. So if you normally put it in, say, 30 IBUs, then your yeast will like being in 30 IBUs.
Yeah.
So you're repitching onto the strong yeast, the yeast that have already done their job. The good yeast will bud about 3 times during a fermentation, and they can bud, I think, about 12 times before they die. So you want a mixture of they're all female. I don't know why. Mother, daughter, and virgin cells in your yeast pitch. So you don't, in your cylindrical vessel, you don't want to be harvesting straight off the bottom with that dark brown sludgy stuff. You want to drop that, and then you want to really slowly rack the middle section of that yeast. I think a lot of people are scared of repitching unless you've done it before in a brewery. And when you've done it before, you realise how kind of robust the actual system is, even if you're doing it in buckets. Like, you don't necessarily... I've never worked in a brewery that's acid washed. I know some people do that. There are ways of preventing cross-contamination. But the thing I like to say to brewers is you're quite happy to take the beer, so you've got your FV, you've got your fermented beer, it's chilled, or you're harvesting hot, whatever, and above it you've got beer, you've got alpha acids, you've got alcohol, you've got
you're quite happy to take that liquid and put it in a can or a bottle and be like, yeah, that's not contaminated or anything. But so many brewers won't take the yeast underneath that's like billions and billions of cells, as well as all the alcohol and the alpha acids and all the protective things. And they're like, that's going to be immediately contaminated when I put it in anything. But they're quite happy to package the beer above it.
No. Yeah, I don't understand that either.
When you put it like
would
that.
seem to be basic
Seems like
wouldn't
a
it?
fairly sound argument, to be fair.
But people don't think of it in that way. They think of it as like two separate things, and one is
Yeah.
super prone to infection.
It's almost like they just look at
and
that
one
as
is like
waste
their
material
beer.
already,
But-
because it's been through once, and that's dead
That's
now.
fine for commercial, I think, because if you're using that yeast to produce the same beer over and over again, then
Yeah.
because you could definitely get a flavour transfer from that yeast.
Yes, so I do know people who actually repitch from stout to pale ale. There are a couple of commercial breweries that do that, and I've asked them, and they don't get any colour transfer. So that's an option.
don't get a
The thing
flavour?
when you're repitching is you need to be. You will get.
I
similar amount of flavour.
did a bock, I'm sure, and then I went to a lager, and it was like you could definitely taste the bock through.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I mean? It was like there was.
But then it just comes to like planning your schedule.
That comes down
Yeah.
to volume as well.
You want to start with the lower ABVs, paler beers, and then you want to finish with the higher ABV, darker beers, and then you dump the yeast off the bottom.
Yeah, the
Also,
Valhalla.
if you're pitching 1 to 2.
Yeah,
2 to 4,
again, do
4
you
to
reckon
8.
like on the homebrew scale, your repitch is probably like quite a lot more than you needed and had
The
a lot of,
percentages
you
are going to
know,
be bigger, aren't they? Right? I mean,
Yeah,
if
for
I'm
sure,
repitching
yeah.
almost
from-
certainly.
from 10 1,000 litres into 1,000 litres, that percentage is smaller, right? Whereas if you're doing a 25 litre batch and you're harvesting your slurry from one to the other, the percentage of what you're taking across is going to be higher, isn't it? So you're going to carry something across, whereas definitely in larger batches of beer, it's easier to, I would say, easier to kind of not see any noticeable difference across.
Yeah, I
So-
think so, but you still should be pitching to volume. I mean, if you're then going to be like, I'm going to be like specific about this, then you're doing yeast counts and whatever and pitching a set volume. But you don't, that's the thing. I just think people are like, I don't have all these things. I don't have a microscope. I don't have a lab. I don't have agar plating. I don't have a yeast brink. And it's like, but you don't need any of that stuff. Like big breweries, Oakham Ale repitch in giant black bins. Like,
Yeah, I mean, there
doesn't
was
mean
was it? I worked a little bit with he's not there anymore, but at Twickenham Ales, and he used to just repitch by weight.
Yeah.
So he used to have big
I used to
plastic
repitch by
tubs
weight.
and just skim off the top, and it used to go in these
Yeah.
big plastic lidded tubs in the fridge, and then to repitch, it was like, well, how much is in there? Right, that's that much. Right, chuck it in,
Yeah.
job done. And because it's within reason, it's good,
It's
it's
about
viable.
50 kilos per 30 hec.
Yeah.
Ish.
Wow. Guys,
and
we're
just the
learning
way you go.
something. We're
50
learning something
kilos of
here.
yeast.
I want to
So-
If you're
jump
worried
in.
about over or under pitching, always over pitch.
Yeah, 100%.
And you
always.
will have way fewer problems than you will
Yeah,
ever
yeah.
have under pitching.
Andy, out of interest,
Just-
I was
That
really
depends
worried
on
about
the style, though.
I was really worried about
Well-
packaging that double IPA. Show us the colour, Andy.
Oh,
So
what?
I
Right, yeah.
I
Look
grabbed
at
the
it,
hell
wow.
out of it.
It's
Oh,
like, wait
okay.
till it
A Merc
focus.
bomb.
Wait. It'll focus. Come on. There
This
we go.
double IPA is wild.
It is. It's
I want
so
to talk about it. I want to
Yeah,
talk about it. in a
well-
minute.
Okay, can you just hold for a second? You can talk about it in 1 minute.
Yeah.
Guys,
Oh, God.
it's time for the question. Okay?
Oh,
The Christmas
question.
question.
The Christmas
Christmas
question
question.
for...
42.
It's definitely not 42. However, without being a cheat, what episode did we have Jimmy from Unity Brewing on the podcast? Send me a message.
You
to the
can't
Hop
say
Edition
don't be a cheat,
Messenger.
because everyone's going to have to go back and look at the website.
you just reminded people that they can cheat.
Yeah, but those who cheat are going to be slower. What episode did we have Jimmy from Unity on the podcast? Send me a message to the Hop Edition Facebook
Got to be
Messenger.
via Messenger, not
Only
on the chat
Messenger,
area.
no other
Facebook
reason. I've got it
Messenger.
open at the side of me. Let's do this. Whoever gets
Chris,
in first wins
do
it.
you exclude like family members of the Hop Edition
Of
as
course,
well?
yeah.
We already got a winner.
Their
We
terms and
already got
conditions.
a
It looks
winner.
like Elsie Williams from
right now,
Bedford has
son.
just answered
Oh
the
my
question
good
correctly.
Lord.
Right.
She's only
I
4,
remember-
but
I
well
remember
done.
watching that.
We've got the first correct answer.
What's she going to buy on the
in.
malt miller?
It's just arrived, and guess what? It's a friggin' Lancastrian.
No way. That
Of all
quick?
the people,
Shocking.
a goddamn Lancastrian's won it.
That was rapid.
Oh
That
my
was-
good lord.
He was on the ball. The boy
Episode
knows our back
40.
catalogue. What can I
He
say?
does. He clearly does.
I was
Serious.
expecting that to be Brett.
Congratulations, Liam.
Liam McGee, you've just won 50 quid voucher for the malt miller, mate. Well
Fair
played.
play.
That was
Well
quick.
done.
More importantly, I think you're like the master Google searcher, mate. I think that's what it comes down
So
to.
it was episode
Absolutely.
40, yeah.
I
It was
mean, that
episode
was
40.
lightning fast.
I reckon,
that was
I
super
reckon
quick.
he might
That
have
was
preempted what the question might be on and had the Hop Edition website up ready to go.
He probably did. He probably did.
He was about 10 seconds after you'd finished that question that the
Yep.
message came in. It was
Liam,
wild.
I hate the fact there are Lancastrians one, but you're a decent bloke. So send me a PM with your email address, mate, and I will get that sent to you now.
That's beautiful.
Did
Could
you
we
see
talk-
how quick that guy was?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
That's quick.
how long did it take us actually to work it out when we were working out the question?
I
About
like to
planning
add,
for it.
35, 40
I actually
seconds.
guessed it right. I
You did.
guessed, and I got
Yeah,
it
you
right.
did. And then we looked
You
it
did.
up, and it took us like a good 2 to 3 minutes.
Just
you know the
validate
weird
that
thing?
I guessed correctly.
The weird thing is, I've actually got the Hop Edition Messenger up right now in Meta Business Suite, and the answer's not come through yet. But it came through on my phone. So,
I got
Liam,
I got it on the
well
phone.
played.
And,
And
and
Rick-
actually,
Mark
I think-
Zuckerberg's just trying to win the prize.
Rick, you were 37 episodes out, mate. Sorry, 27 episodes out.
thanks for joining.
Close, but no cigar.
Wow. Oh my good lord. Well played, Liam. Good job, mate. Good
Right,
job.
should we talk about this crazy
Yeah.
thick beer?
Yeah.
Please do. I don't have it, but
Tell me
Oh.
about this
it
dipper.
looks amazing.
Should I make it or not?
Yes, well,
Hoddy, more to the point, send Alix some.
I've probably got
I'll
about...
come pick some up in the new year. You're just down
Yeah.
the road. I'll come and visit you.
Remember, Alex says she doesn't want any more beers, Chris.
Hoddy,
I did say that. I'm going to go and grab my my 2 mystery cans so we can find out what on earth they
Yeah,
are.
mystery cans.
Yeah,
Beer roulette time. Let's
beer
go.
roulette.
They could be from any of this list of breweries.
Beer roulette time.
So yeah,
Um,
I would put this on. Like, this reminds me of a total track dipper. Like, it is that crazy thick, juicy, amazing mouthfeel. Like, great bitterness to it as well. Because like, I think we were talking earlier about contours and how it works so well, and it's like a dipper that you can actually like. It's like, I'm like, yes, I can get back in,
I-
sort of
I've-
thing. The
I've nearly
drinkability.
smashed it.
Yeah,
all,
exactly.
so,
Yeah. We could hear that from
Oops.
your voice, Rich.
Oops.
I know, that's the thing. We're all going to be
Um,
wrecked now.
Hoddy, are you gonna shoot straight 8% rather than 8.5%?
Probably 8%. Yeah, I'll probably
Yeah.
just shoot straight 8%. I think 8.5 is the extra 0.5% is unnecessary. And actually, on
Yeah.
my brew kit, because my mash tun is a little bit undersized, I think I would sacrifice the 0.5% to get more volume out the other side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that's more than
Also,
likely.
you don't then go into the tax bracket that's higher.
Exactly.
I-
Yeah.
I'm gonna.
What are the
I'm gonna
hops in this,
say-
Hoddy? Did
Yeah,
you say that
I-
already? Or...
I wanted
Citra and
to know.
Strata, but mostly Strata.
Oh, really? Okay, that's yeah.
I mean, it's like wildly like fresh orange juice. It reminds me a lot of one of the early Verdant dippers that they released, which I can't remember the name of now, but was just like when it was fresh, it was just straight orange juice.
Yeah.
I think you probably could afford to bring the cold side hops down a little bit.
Okay. Interesting.
Like either that or it might just be a little bit tiny bit green.
Yeah.
One of the two. I don't know how fresh it is. It's not hot burn, but there's
No, I'm not
like,
gonna do that.
just a tiny bit of almost tiny bit of vegetal
You get
hop greenness.
I mean, it's
On
a
the nose.
massive-
I'm
it's a
being
massive
ultra
dry hop in
critical
there.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, oh, yeah, but that's
ultra-critical.
what it's all about, right? I mean, it's that's exactly what it's all about.
Oh my god.
But the aroma is absolutely to die for.
That
It's
comes from a
insane.
massive dry hop, and
It's-
it's also
yeah.
using thiolized yeast as well. So that's the WHC thiol yeast in there as well. So and mash hopping with Cascade as well. So
Interesting.
that
Yeah.
makes a big difference in that double
Which
IPA
yeast was
version.
it? Sorry, the sweet release one.
No, it's the
Hop unlock, isn't it?
hop and lock, yeah. So mash hopping with Cascade in there as well.
Have you tried it without mash hopping?
The other beer these guys have got, which is Wonderment, that uses thiolized yeast, but I didn't do any mash hopping at all. So it's just got Idaho 7 in the Whirlpool, Idaho 7 dry hop. Partly me, the homebrewer, and me testing stuff out, basically, kind of almost experimenting at 1,000 litre batch size, which I know I shouldn't do.
I'm just trying to make your beer cheaper for you, man. Like you can,
Yeah,
definitely skip out the mash hopping. Just also
But
thiolizing yeast. I hate that term so much, but yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair though, Cascade is so cheap in comparison these days now. Cascade T90s, if you compare it to like Citra, Mosaic, Idaho 7, it's like a third of the price. It's like, yeah, let's go, Cascade, get in there.
Use the
I'm
Cascade.
I'm almost looking at maybe there's another recipe I was working on, which was I was going to call it old school because I was just going to go like loads of Cascade, Pale Ale because A, the hops are really cheap, and actually Cascade's great.
Yeah.
You know, even on its own,
Agreed.
it's just a great hop.
Yep.
But again, that's the home brewer in me going, oh, Magpie, let's try some of this. Let's try one of those. Let's do one of these. But yeah, so yeah, thiol yeast, and then Cascade in the mash hopping as well, which I do
Smart.
quite like mash hopping. It's the aroma is just amazing on brew day.
It seems like a waste though if it's just for you to smell.
I like to think it transfers into the beer, right? I mean, because that I
I'm
must
yet
admit
to
that
see evidence that it does.
that dipper though, I mean, is pretty decent though, right? Everyone
Yeah.
else,
I haven't got it, but
It's
The thing-
I'll come and try
brilliant.
some.
Does that not then waste your grain? So you can't then use that for cattle feed or anything like that?
You can still. I'm pretty sure you can still feed it to cattle.
But then
because
what
it's
do
a
you?
low enough amount. It's not like pure.
Whether they
you
eat it or not.
couldn't. Yeah, you couldn't dump it out of the fermenter and give it to cattle, but the farm down the road from me that takes all my grain, they can take it when I put mash hopping in. It's absolutely fine.
Do you bag it?
Yeah, I put it back into the bags that we've taken.
No. I mean,
no.
see the Cascade. Do you bag that when you mash hop?
Oh no, just throw it all in.
No.
So then, yeah. So the cattle are eating hops. Okay.
Yeah, and
Wow.
the farm down the road that takes my grain, they make ice cream. The ice cream tastes pretty good, so I'll take that.
It feels like an April Fool's like news bit where they feed
Yeah.
the cows
Yeah,
strawberries
that's
and
it,
get strawberry milk.
Yeah, it kind of tastes. Yeah, this ice cream tastes subtly like grapefruit.
With a weird
I wonder
for
why.
celebrating this vanilla ice cream. What's going on?
Must be all that Cascade they're eating.
Well, Hoddy, I think it's an absolutely brilliant dipper, and
Yeah.
I've got some experience of drinking dippers, and kudos
you
to
brought
Just
it to
a
the
little
dipper
bit.
expert here. To be
Just
fair,
a
so-
little bit.
Yeah, it's a great beer. You should definitely scale that, in my opinion. If it's
I'll
not
come
going
try it.
to
I'll come try it.
commercially kill you.
I think can only as well. I don't think that would sell in keg
Of
to
course it
bars and
would.
stuff.
Price
Uh,
would be really high.
You get a couple of
Yeah.
kegs out.
I don't know.
of that
You'd
one,
be
mate.
surprised. There's the local tap room that I go to is
Tap rooms.
there's a lot of enthusiasts who are there for the 8% plus beers. I was in there the last week for our Christmas homebrew meeting, and he had a very sort of Christmas strength board up behind it. It was like 6, 8, 10, 12, and a 14% beer. It was like,
Wow.
oh, that's nice how
Jesus.
you've like staggered that in 2% increments so you can work your way through there and just, climb
to
the ladder
oblivion.
to oblivion, basically.
That's
It's
the way to
beautiful.
heaven.
is that exactly what you did, Tricky? Yeah.
I stopped at the 10%, I think. But yeah, pretty
Did
much.
they start it at 6 just to make you feel like that was the lower end?
Yeah, like that was
Even
a
though, like,
sensible
in real
session
life, that's
strength
quite
beer.
high.
It's just like, no,
That's
don't
the
do
session.
that.
That's the
Okay.
session.
Guys, we're going to have to shift this one on because we're an hour and 30 minutes into a supposed hour podcast.
Oh yeah,
Guys,
minor detail.
we are going to go for what is your commercial beer of the year. Hoddy, you've got 20 seconds to think whilst Andy
I've got
does
mine.
his choices.
I'm good.
Yeah.
Alex, you've got to think
the
as well.
gentleman's room.
Can
Andy,
I
take
just do
time.
my list? of
Oh,
breweries?
wait!
Oh, yeah, hang on. That's the other
Stop,
question.
Alex, go.
Do you want me to read these all out, or you want just a number?
I mean, read out the high points and then give us a number.
I can't. I'll just do all of them really fast back to back, and you can all think of a commercial.
Go on
beer.
then,
Okay.
go for it.
Right, you ready? Fine Ales, Blackjack, Marble, Pomona Island, Seven Brothers, Squawk, Big Trip, Sure Shot, Track, Cloudwater, Balance, Northern Monk, Hall & Woodhouse, Neptune, Top Rope, Polly's, Black Lodge, Rivington, Asvex, Burnt Mill, Adnams, Duration, Elusive, Siren, Pahola in Estonia, New Barnes, Campervan, Hand, Mikella in London, St Mondays, Oakham, Ferry Brew Co, Bateman's, Brewster's, 8 Sail Brew Co, Docks Beers, Luda, Munyard, Neen Valley, Brewboard, Baron, Wylam, Anarchy, Ramsbury, Olmsty, Northern Alchemy, Brinkburn, 2x2, Full Circle, Brew York, Wiper and True, Little Martha's, Left on a Giant, Abyss, Double Barreled, Kirkstall, Curious Brew, Moonwake, Whiplash, Guinness, Wicklow Wolf, Hope Beer, Burton Bridge, Brixton, Birdhouse, Wimbledon, Drop Project, Three Locks, Hackney, Pig Beer, Cold Town Beer, Steamtown, Alfred's, Beavertown and Daya.
63.
75.
75?
You like to travel
Yeah.
then, Alex?
That's just this year.
Holy shit.
There's some names.
That's since
yeah.
January. That's since January. I did 80. I think I did probably about 100 the last 6 months before that.
What was Guinness one?
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, I went to
Alex.
Diageo, we went to Guinness in
Hey.
Ireland.
What were they
Hence the
looking-
jumper.
That wasn't a bad guess,
Yeah.
was it?
You went far off,
75.
Trick.
75 is the answer. This is the list.
I thought 68 would be close, but Tricky manages to miss out by 1. Oh
Wow.
my, that was incredible.
Hats off to you, Alex. That's a
Yeah,
a
that's-
lot of traveling.
Just a quick question, do you drive?
Yeah.
That's good.
I think I did 20,000 miles in the last 12 months.
Jesus.
Woof.
I have to give you a company car.
Yes.
Well, that's a good,
Good.
thing.
It's a fermenter.
It's a fermenter company car with wheels
It's
on it.
it's called a fermenter. It's the Cupra fermenter.
Oh, Formentor. Yes, got you.
No.
I got it because I
fermenter.
thought it was funny.
Is it
That
branded
is
with Lallemand?
No, but I wish it was.
Oh, shame.
It doesn't even say fermenter on it, which is
Oh,
very
God.
disappointing.
Yeah.
No, they just
Do
have
it.
the logo on the back, don't they?
Do you remember
Yeah.
those little minis that were sponsored by Red Bull that kind of
Yeah,
looked like
yeah,
a Red
yeah,
Bull can?
yeah.
You
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
see
they
very
cut
many
about,
of
yeah.
those these days, do you? That was
Wow.
a weird thought.
That's
If you want me to come
impressive.
and visit your brewery, add it to the list, and I'll put it on the list for next year,
2025.
Wow.
Kaboom.
Gosh.
2025. Yeah.
Yeah, trust me, you don't want to visit my brewery, Alex.
I've got a mystery.
Do
can
you want
that's
to
just-
do the
this
like
one's
shed and
completely
garage
unlabelled
tour of
as
the
well.
UK
Alex
is what
is
you're
gonna
asking?
say-
I actually, yeah, there's a couple that I definitely missed out of there. That
Welcome
that
to my
I-
murder room.
Yeah.
This is very
That's
red. This
very
mystery
red.
beer.
Oh,
Yeah.
looks like a sour.
It smells like a sour.
This
I
is
did go
one
to
of
someone's scaled up homebrew. To be fair, it wasn't on the list, so it should be a bit higher. Yeah,
What? So it was
If you're-
76.
it wasn't. But then as I was talking, I think there's a couple more as well. that I
Oh,
didn't-
no. Well, we'll just leave it at that one then. 76.
Yeah, yeah,
was right.
76
Yeah.
in dead on.
Bang on.
Alex, what's a beer like?
Tricky's one. Absolutely
Oh, it's like-
nothing.
Yeah, I get the prize
Blackcurrant.
of 0.
Licoricey black currant.
It's very sour, and it's got a lot of fruit in it.
It's just
I don't-
right up your
The
street.
shame
then.
is,
Yeah.
I can't tell you
Heartburn
anything
in a
about
glass.
this beer. I've got absolutely no idea who made it or where it's from.
So
They
you're,
usually
you're,
the first ones
you're
off the canning
currently...
line that are mixed with peracetic acid because they're just like
Possibly. I have done that a couple of
the
times.
death bills off the machine usually when they
We used to have something at Wild Beer that X-rayed the cans, and then we had something called a hoofed that used to punch them off the line.
That just sounds epic. Good beer?
It's nice. It's a shame I don't know where it's from.
You would have thought some dude with a marker pen would have jumped in there, right?
I think it might be Polly's, but I don't think Polly's do that many sours.
They do a few. If you check their
Heavy
website.
And then I've got
Brewery
another
sours.
one that's from a brewery that's done apparently 254 guiles, and this was packaged on the 27th of the 6th
Interesting.
in 2023. Best before 26th of the 6th, 2024, and
So-
no other information.
It's beer, it'll be fine.
Yeah,
I
this is
would-
definitely beer roulette.
I would save Wonderment till last because that's 6.2, right? So go into Mountaintops and then finish on Wonderment.
There we
That'd
go.
be my recommendation.
Right, we've all had a lot of time to think, so I'm
Yeah,
gonna come
sorry,
to
they all
Hoddy.
have to choose their commercial brew of the year now.
Oh,
Hoddy,
yeah.
we're coming to you. Pressure's on,
You can
buddy.
pick one on the list if you'd like.
I can't
Um,
believe you've done that many breweries in 1 year. That is impressive.
It's my job.
Yeah, I realise that, but it's impressive that you've done that many.
I would say I can't remember. I'll have to look it up. There was a New Zealand-led hop beer by Track that we bought some cans for to go in our guest fridge.
Wasn't next door, was
By Track, it was amazing. It was like Motueka, Rawaka, and something else, and it was mega. So that's been the one good thing through the
Is
year.
that called
of
Next
not having
Door?
our own sorry,
Next door?
Track.
Yeah. The beer's called
beer,
Next
is it called
Door.
Next
Is
Door?
it
I
next
think
door?
I've had it.
I might have
it?
to
Was it a
look,
West
I'll have
Coast
to look it up.
IPA? Was it a Westie?
Is it a West Coast, is it?
It was Westie-ish. Yeah, it was like 7% or something.
We just need
7.5.
Tricky to come back. He'll tell us their entire current lineage.
Hello.
There he is. Track
What was the
Santa.
question?
There was a
Love
track
Smash.
beer.
I think
that
that very well
contains
could
New
be that
Zealand
Polly's beer, by
hops.
the way.
Sorry, I didn't
That was
hear.
about 7.5%.
It was like
Go.
7%. It was like a track beer that was like Motueka, Rawaka, and something else. It was mega. That's my
What-
commercial beer of the
Was
year.
that out of the recent like 10th anniversary series, or just...
No, it was before that. No, it was
before
about 3-4 months ago.
God.
Something
They've
like
been
that, I think.
they've been putting like so many New Zealand hops into all their beers recently that, to be fair, I don't.
It
think I
wasn't
would.
Yolk, was it? No, that was a double IPA.
That was a
No,
bloody
I-
good beer.
I'll look it up
But,
now.
I
yeah,
don't
I'm
think
not sure
Anyway,
about
Hoddy's
that
got
one.
a clue.
That was my beer of the year. I can tell you because I can look up my order list from
Yeah, look it
from
up.
Track.
Look it up, buddy.
My beer of the year is this one, Circus of the Sun, from Daya, from their Little Summer Beer Bash. It's a low alcohol and it's actually really, really good.
Wow.
I haven't had
Very
it.
good.
You've got to admit, though, Daya do produce some absolute bangers.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's Daya, it's Verdant, it's Left-Handed Giant, all got together and they made a low alcohol beer for the beer festival for Little Summer Beer Bash this year.
Right, okay,
They
okay.
are I think they're redoing it, or they're about to do another low out for January, is my understanding. Or
What
at
percent?
some point next year.
3.5.
0.5.
0.5.
0.5.
Wow.
Hazy
Wet.
IPA, 0.5. Yeah.
I have to say,
That's your
Daya,
beer of the year.
Yeah.
Wow,
It's
that's
really good.
Yeah.
Daya they're the Swedish house mafia of the beer world, though. They
Right.
really are. They produce some absolute
It took
bangers.
a couple of goes. It did take a couple of goes. It's got Audacia Strata Luminosa, and it's got Lona Yeast.
I've got to admit, Reiki does have a fantastic peach. He does. He does. He does. He really does. But anyway, Harmon, you are officially banned. So, there we go.
Sorry, Brett.
Let's go. Andy, what's yours?
Yeah, so I've actually still right. So my beer of the year was this, Chris. You sent me it. It was the flipping pour over by Burnt
What a
Mountain.
beer.
Oh
what a
my
beer.
god, that is insane! Coffee and vanilla imperial stout.
It drinks
Yeah.
like 8%, but it's actually 4 and a bit. It's an utter banger.
No, Chris, it is an 8% beer,
Oh, that
it?
is the 8%.
Is that the
beer,
8%?
and it drinks
Oh,
like
that
a
was
4.
imperial measures, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah, different way round that
pour
one.
over. Yeah. But I've got some special mentions as well. There was when we had Damien on, and he gives that black and blue, the Emperors, that blew my mind. And then also Burning Sky, that Petit Framboise.
Nice.
Or something like
Yes,
that.
that's cracking,
Framboise,
mate.
That was
brilliant.
insane.
great
It was it 3.5%, but it was like barrel aged and all sorts of stuff, and it was beautiful with all the fruit and stuff. So yeah, there you go. That's mine.
I want to slide to Owen because there's a story behind his.
Yeah, I'm gonna be like a total beer nerd right now.
He's just gonna show off. He's showing off.
Oh, I'm gonna show off. We're gonna flex a little bit, guys. Yeah.
During my
Get
trip
the
to
guns
Vegas.
I happened to be in Vegas for my 40th this year, and I was just lucky enough to come across a bar that was doing a Russian River tap takeover.
Nice.
Who'd have thought?
Yeah.
No,
On my
it's almost like
birthday.
that was probably planned, Owen.
And it just happened to have Pliny the Elder on tap.
I have
so
also tried that this year, only in bottle, and it is very good beer.
It was absolutely sensational.
I've got a bottle of Pliny the Elder that someone's muled over from Florida about 3 weeks ago. It's in my fridge, and I'm saving that one for Christmas Day. So
Nice. I
You won't
don't
be
think it will
disappointed.
disappoint.
Go
Ollie.
now, go and get it, buddy.
Go get it.
Go and get it.
It's a pod.
Do it. No, I think just the fact that I was able to find it on tap as well, and just actually see someone pull the pint, it was
Yeah.
really quite sensational. It was just 10% better than the best West Coast IPA I've ever drunk. You know,
Yeah.
it's still beer. I didn't suddenly orgasm, but it was just like there's something different about this beer, right?
that's
And-
like when I went to the Alchemist and I bought fresh cans over the bar at the Alchemist in New England of Focal Banger and Heady Topper, and I sat outside and just cracked a can and drank it right there and then. It was amazing. There was just that mise en scène about it all. It's just,
yeah.
and it was super fresh.
Sat in the sun drinking it. I'm sure the whole like atmosphere of it probably added to the vibe, but
Was it not about green?
no, it was just
No. I
Just-
was at Hoddy's one. I was saying. when he
No,
was at
it
the
wasn't.
Alchemist.
No, because he won't let anything go out if it's not ready. So
Right,
you
okay.
know, if it's gone out in can, it is.
It's ready to
bang-
drink.
It's ready.
Yeah.
It's bang on.
Cool.
So
Brett, we can't put Barry White on because we get
We
flagged.
get copyrighted.
Yeah. Otherwise,
Yeah, that's
Sadly,
that
no backing music for this one.
I want Tricky to go
Oh,
first.
yeah.
For beer of the year,
Yes.
yeah. We actually did this already on the 100th episode, so it'd be interesting to see how consistent we were with the choices back to then, or whether some of us have obviously had better beers since then. But on that episode, I said Maiden by Siren was my beer of
Oh
the year,
yes.
and
What a beer.
and the current, well, the most recent one, so it would have been the
It would have been last
2020,
year, yeah,
the 2023 batch.
Yeah.
That was
We
released
did
this year.
that as a tasting, didn't we?
Yeah, no, that was earlier when we were talking about the drink along beers. There was the one that we did earlier in the year from the Malt Miller that included that beer. So
I think
shout
I
out to
said,
Stiffo
Firefighter.
again for
Oh, that was the
for
one we got
putting
that
that one in.
Northern Irish brewery on, wasn't it? What were they called?
Bullhouse.
Wonder.
Bullhouse as well, yeah.
Oh,
Which
yeah,
was
yeah.
also a bit
Yeah,
of a
Bullhouse.
revelation of how good their beers were. But yeah,
They
so
were fantastic.
I sort of went back and thought, like, has anything bettered that one for me? And you know, similar to Andy, there's definitely some beers that I would put in for honourable mentions and stuff.
I
and,
wanted to put a few.
you know,
in.
some of the impies and things. And I was also thinking along the lines of, like, I think a good measure for beer of the year is like, what beer would you immediately think that you would want to then go and buy like a case of it or something like that? And maybe not a barley wine that's like that strong, but a few other beers that I bought that I would have probably put into that category. I thought Whisper by Flock was like a challenger to my
yes.
you know, love for Sonoma as my favourite sort of session pale ale. I think that's an awesome beer. And from the Oktoberfest episode, the
We had
Augustina
The Oktoberfest stuff. is insane.
Oktoberfest beer, that just blew me away by how good
Yeah.
that was. And I would have literally bought a case of that, but they went out of stock on beer merchants fairly quickly, so I didn't get a chance to do that. But yeah, I will stick with Maiden because I think it is the one that kind of stands out for me as the beer of the year still. So
Yeah,
that's my choice, and I'm sticking with it.
You're sticking with Maiden.
Nice.
Good choice.
Yeah.
Iron Maiden, Fear of the Dark.
I'm going to make
Nice
a really
link.
quick humble brag that I'm going to Bullhouse in 2 weeks.
Yeah,
Oh
son.
God.
Oh, lovely.
Off to Belfast.
Nobody likes a show off, Owen.
Yes.
No, I know,
No, we do.
I know.
We do. We love it.
I just happen to have a family member that lives there.
I don't like you very much right now.
It's all right.
So,
I'll probably come
I'll
back
send
with
you
contact
photos.
details
It's
for
fine.
You better do.
a pod guest, hopefully.
You better
Yeah,
do.
well, we'll see.
I've got the,
Yeah.
I've got the
Get
contact
working.
details of the owner and head brewer actually, because I nearly bought a tank off of him. So if you,
Oh,
if you
really?
do want that, I
Okay.
can pass
Yeah,
that.
Send
definitely.
him an email, Hoddy. Send him an email. I will say that it for me it literally is two beers that I cannot separate.
Yeah.
All right. Number one is the Festival Hellas by Braybrook and Kirkstall Brewery.
That was insane.
That beer at
We-
that
we-
point on
that-
that episode with my flavour, with my taste buds, with what I like in a beer.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure whether you enjoyed it or not.
I
'cause,
had a
like,
tear
your
running down my face.
review was a bit middling at the time.
That beer, oh my
The only
god!
problem, Chris, there was only one problem with that beer,
What's that?
and it was in a 330 bottle.
That is the only issue with that beer. It should
The
come in
other
a
issue is that he
5
was saying
litre
they weren't going to remake it. And you were like, this is an outrage.
keg. Fucking outrage.
like
The
the-
other one, weirdly enough, has been popped up by Stiffo, which is Overripe by Great Notion, which none of you guys had because Rob was really kind enough to send me his last can.
Ah.
That beer changed
Did you
my
have that in the pod?
I did. That beer changed my perception of what a hazy, fruity IPA could be. If anybody
Interesting.
in the UK produces a beer like Overripe by Great Notion, honestly, I will buy a 24 can case tomorrow. I don't care
What
how
is
much
it?
shit.
What fruits it got in it?
It doesn't
Or
have
just hops?
any fruit in, I don't think. I
Hang
think
on a
it was
minute.
just
It's just-
hops, but my
Yeah, I was
God,
going to say, I've never heard of
what
it.
a beer. What
It's
a
an
beer.
American, so it was.
Great notion
yeah, I
I've
was-
heard of, but I've
So
but the
Rob-
I
beer
did
I'm
go
not
to other
aware
half.
of.
Actually, to be fair, not on that list. I did go to other half Finback and a bunch in New York. And other half, they can make a very, very good hazy beer. They can make a very drinkable 7% that tastes like a 3%. Cannot make a lager though. They can, but
They can't make a
I've
bitter
still
either.
got the can. I've still got the can.
that's how much you liked it.
I did. Plus, I haven't
Yeah.
tidied my shed in a while. But yeah,
Is it a
what,
skinny? Oh, it's not. What size is it?
it's 440.
440. Okay.
But it
I thought
is
it was one of those weird skinny cans.
Dia de la
They don't give
Muertos.
any information away though, annoyingly, do they? I'm looking at the website now. There's no hop or malt information at all whatsoever. Unlike Maverick cans, where we try and give you as
Yeah,
much
all of
information.
the information.
Or you can even go onto the Malt Miller website and you can buy the recipe kit for drawing
What's
pictures of mountain
mangosteen?
tops. And you can brew it at home. And
Mangosteen.
there's a couple of people I know that have bought the kit. I'm looking forward to their side-by-side comparisons of the two
Oh, yeah, from the Malt Miller.
from
Yeah.
the Malt Miller. So
I-
Great Notion need to do the same.
That beer blew me away. It
What is
was.
mangosteen?
I
Yeah,
don't
right. I was
care.
thinking that was
Hon-
exactly
honestly-
Alex.
Is it a new
That's
type of
exactly
mango
the
that
same.
I'm unaware of?
Yeah.
Honestly,
The Bruce
Alex,
Springsteen of mangoes.
Doesn't matter.
I'm an information whore. Absolutely,
There's
I love
mango in a hat.
information.
It's the boss mango, Andy. There you
It's
go.
got a nice
On a
hat
Harley.
and some jeans.
I don't
on a
know.
Harley.
I need another 12 cans of that beer. It was so good. It was so. In fact, do you know what? If I
Ooh,
actually,
mangosteen is a weird looking fruit.
if I managed to
It's not just a
find,
mango.
No, it looks like garlic inside a plum.
Oh, wow.
if I
Wow.
managed-
Okay.
I just googled it. It's a
I
weird.
think you
What?
need to send.
Disclaimer?
I think you need to send an email to. Oh yeah, I think you need to send an email to Vault City because they're always looking for new fruits, right?
Well, they need
Kinda-
to find that fruit because
Kind of
it.
looks
I
a
have
bit like
it
a
What a
does look
beer.
like a garlic inside a plum. You're
I mean,
right.
I think that
looks
was
a bit
kind
like
of
a butthole.
yeah, or that
What a beer.
cat's
But
ass
I
inside
would
a
happily-
plum, yeah.
I would happily take another case of the Festival Hellas by Braybrook
Oh.
and Kirkstall. That was such a great beer. In fact, I'm having a bottle of that next. I'll be honest with you.
The Keller
I know you
beer
sent
they
a load
had
of beers, Hoddy,
first-
but I'm still going to drink the Braybrook beer because it's so
well,
good.
you know, there's plenty
it
of time,
was-
don't worry.
Yeah,
Oh my
Lychee
good lord,
hybrid.
it was
Christmas is
stunning.
going rogue.
I'm feeling hard done by. Everyone else got like 3 beers. There's 2 beers I forgot to mention because I chose one.
Oh, go on, Owen.
You did choose Vegas though.
I did, and I did give a backstory, Alex. So I ate up my time. But Fort Point by Trillium, which I drank on the podcast a few weeks
Are you
ago,
only
which,
choosing exclusively American?
which was amazing. No, I'm now going to go
What's your
German.
favourite?
Yeah, come on, Owen,
Can we
keep it
choose
local.
UK or
No UK. And
Support
then
UK
Andex-
breweries.
shit.
Any Fuggles? Anything with Fuggles in it?
Andex Special
Bramley
Hell.
Cross?
Yeah, exactly.
Andex Special
Yeah.
Hell, which
That
is
That's
and,
red
Kappa,
bottle.
Kappa.
and Doombar.
And your favourite UK beer of the year?
No UK beers.
No, none. Okay.
I think actually, if we're talking about roundup of the year, I think it was you, Tricky, that used the descriptor for UK hops that were trying to be like American-ish kind of hops. I think you described it once on one pod. It was like, yes, it's not really, is it? It's like someone's driven down a lane, held a mango out of the window of the car, and waved it at a hedgerow as they went by.
I might have said that, but just in case the guys from Charles Fairham are listening to this, I definitely did not say
Harlequin
that.
and Jester are the
And
best
their
hops.
new varieties are fantastic and massively tropical forward hops.
And if they want to send you any free,
UK hops.
UK hops are great.
Yeah.
Except you, Owen, cannot name a single UK beer that you like this year.
All right. There's plenty of
Get
great
involved.
UK beers I've liked,
Yeah.
but they
Kappa.
haven't made
No,
the top
Kappa,
3.
Kappa.
See, if we were actually doing like a Spotify Wrapped of the most pints you've drunk of something this year, my answer is probably going to be Red Stripe, because that's what I did down the pub.
And it's not sour.
I'll be honest with you, Alex. I've sprayed a few cans of Red Stripe, but only when I've been grilling chicken.
Red Stripe or Amstel are probably my top 2 volume-wise.
Oh,
that I've
wow.
actually
Amstel's
drunk.
a nice beer.
It's
I
all
like
malt
Amstel.
extract though, right? I mean, Amstel it's not. Well, is it Amstel that have started putting on their cans now? So they've stopped using malt extract. They actually use grain now.
I've never bought it in can. I've only ever bought it on a draft.
Right,
know,
we're
I
gonna
like
we're gonna
Amstel.
move to the final stages of the podcast.
Oh, here we go.
Carol
Owen.
of
singing.
the Christmas 24 special. Before we move to the after party, we're going to have a little round of Would You Rather. So feel free to play along.
I don't know if I should have
in
agreed
the
to come on this
comments.
podcast. Okay.
Alex, we took into account that you were coming on and they're clean-ish.
Cleanish.
That's fine. No,
You-
no.
I'm sure you wait.
I don't know if the first one's clean.
You know, I work in the beer industry, right, and have done for 8 years.
Yeah.
It'll be fine. It'll be
We
fine.
got that.
Yeah.
We got that.
Yeah.
So the first question is: would you rather drink a stout from a shoe, or an IPA through a dirty pair of pants?
From a shoe all day long.
Sure.
Shoe.
I'd risk the toe jam and
I'd
go,
go
with the
shoey.
stout from a
Shoey
shoe.
for sure.
Yeah.
I think I'm going shoe.
It'd be worse if it was from Brewdog, but you know.
You specified dirty pair of pants as well. Like, if you
Yeah.
just said from pants, I feel like we could
Yeah, I
have
mean,
got away with
we're
it.
implying like skid marks there, basically, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So that's not
exactly.
really-
I think
Come
shoe
on,
would probably be more
Rich.
sanitary.
Nobody wants that.
I probably
Shoe
led
all day long.
I led the jury there. Yeah.
Scat
saddies.
stout, no thank you.
Here's
That's
one
too
for
much.
Tricky. Would you rather brew a lager with a Kvike yeast or brew an IPA with nothing but Magnum?
Magnum IPA all day, mate. That's
Done.
The
You knew the
hatred is
answer for
real.
that one.
The hatred is real.
because it's not a lager.
I think
Man has
Tricky
to
has
have
strong views
principles.
on that one.
A man has to have principle. Any other thoughts on the Kvike versus all Magnum IPA?
I'm gonna brew a lager with Pike. Why not?
I don't think you should brew a lager with a Kvike.
Okay, so
Right.
I'm
It's
gonna
not a
brew
lager.
Alex is in the full Magnum IPA camp.
Lager.
lager.
I'm Magnum IPA camp.
Oh dear.
We can wave a pineapple at it as well.
Yeah, I reckon you could do a old school Westie with Magnum. That's,
I don't think
be
you
an
could.
experiment.
Imagine how bitter
said
that
he was
Can
would
gonna-
I
be.
put in the
Yeah.
comment? I don't want to do any
Magnum
homebrewing.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
Magnum
Magnum
I've
smells
never
great
homebrewed in
in
my
the pack,
life.
though. It smells like it could be
It does. It smells amazing in the
Magnum-
pack.
Actually,
but
really aromatic hop, like out in its raw form. Anyway, I don't know.
Yeah. That's a,
just,
yeah.
just don't cook it, is what you're
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah,
Just don't
maybe
eat it.
that's
That's
the
all.
case.
Okay, right.
Could that be
Next question.
2025? Wait, 2025 might be the year of the Magnum IPA. You never know.
You
It's
never
not
know.
going
Chris
to.
has been promising it for a while.
Well, he says that Reaper. Magnum
I've,
Reaper.
I've given all my Magnum
You've still
away,
got loads of
thankfully.
Magnum. Oh, we gave
No,
it
I've
away.
gi- I've given it all away.
Boom.
Right, third question.
Go on.
Would you rather brew in 40 degrees centigrade or minus 10 centigrade?
40.
Yeah, 40 all day long. I love
Minus
the heat.
10.
I'm like
Minus
a
10.
cat.
Wait, are we
Yeah.
just talking the brew day or like the whole process?
Like it-
probably brew day.
If it's just brew day, I'll go minus. But if it's packaging, especially canning, I'm going to go 40 because I have packed cans off of the end of a canning line where the spray of the wash has frozen on the outside of the can. And you've got like little chunks of ice as you're putting it in the box. And that was honestly the worst day of my brewing
That sounds
career.
painful. That's just like
Yeah.
numb
Bad
fingers.
It was
enough.
so
Like when-
cold.
When we
chilblains.
were canning last time,
Next level.
the beer was at like 0.5 degrees, so it's going into can, and you are, you're moving. It's like you're, a student working in a factory. You're like taking cans off, weighing them, boxing them. After a while, your fingers, because you're just holding cans that are like under 1 degree.
Yeah,
After about
my
half
top
an hour,
tip
you're like,
is a layer of latex gloves and then a layer of like work gloves.
yeah,
Because then you don't get the wet through the work gloves.
It's the
Your
wet
hands are
that
still
does you.
dry.
it's
Yeah,
the
so
wet,
you need the latex
100%.
gloves underneath a pair of work gloves.
I
That's
would
how you
say-
can at
I-
minus 40.
I would say as a home brewer, I'll take minus 10 every day of the week. and
100%
twice on
Yeah.
Sunday.
for me. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's
love the heat, though.
mainly for the impact that will have on like groundwater, so how fast you can chill the beer down,
Yep.
and also if I'm making a
Okay,
lager,
so you're thinking of different
then
things.
I'm like, yeah. I mean, it's not going to be comfortable, but equally, like if I'm in the garage, it's going to warm up with all the kit.
There
kind
is
of
something
going
nice
on.
about like getting in a mash tun to dig out a mash tun or clean a kettle when it's cold outside and you're like,
Yes.
oh, it's nice
Yeah,
and
yeah.
warm and it smells like milk.
Bit like
also-
Christmas Day in front of the open fire.
I was
I've
chatting
just
to
got the
a-
Netflix TV screen, I'm afraid.
That's pretty much what I've got.
Well,
but, you know,
It feels nice and warm.
there was a heat wave at the time, and he said during that heat wave he would go in and brew through the night because it was cooler, and he would literally just brew in a pair of shorts, like short shorts, through the night because that was just the best way to deal with it.
That
Health
is
and
such a
safety,
safety problem.
Yeah, yeah.
Hoddy, that's an interesting segue to the next question.
Absolutely, it is.
Would you rather brew a beer with your eyes closed or naked?
I'm gonna. If it's on a kit that I've already brewed on, I'm gonna
Naked.
go eyes closed.
Yeah, eyes closed.
I can absolutely brew a beer with my eyes closed, 100%. If I've been on the kits that I've used, 100% I can do it. It's like it becomes like a dance. You just like this valve, that valve. Like it becomes like second nature. I do not want boiling hot sugary liquid anywhere on my skin.
I think that's the sensible answer.
I have to say, and I know I'm risking traumatizing a lot of people, but I would go naked. I
Yeah.
rely on my eyes far
I
too
would.
much.
Yeah.
I'd go
I would.
I'm going
starkers.
with Alex with eyes closed.
I'm going
Me
to say
too.
we've got a revelation.
Nah.
Mark Coleyfish.
Wow.
That's that extra note that I got in his beers.
That what that thing is.
Euro trash.
Euro trash.
I think there's a lot of people on this podcast who are twisted and wrong. So, guys, last question.
YouTube ratings.
Think about this one.
OnlyFans.
Would you? I know. This isn't going to be as big of a moment
Oh, no, that's
for
just
Alex
good.
as it is for everyone else. But would you rather give up beer or barbecue?
Barbecue.
Barbecue.
Beer.
I'd give up beer.
I'd give up beer in a heartbeat.
Beer.
I don't know.
Oh.
Now I'm really thinking. No.
No, you're making the wrong decision. Think now.
Not
Yeah,
at
but
all.
you're talking. Yeah.
I
okay.
don't like
I've
beer
got,
that
don't get me
much.
wrong. I've got bacon cold smoking as we speak right now. I've already done the salmon. Salmon's been cold smoked. It's backpacked. It's ready to go. But,
That's not that salmon isn't barbecue.
Yeah, but still, I mean, I would go beer.
I mean,
over.
I'm if when I say I want to give up barbecue, I'm pescatarian, so I still eat fish. I'm not agreeing to give up salmon. I'd just like to caveat this. Like, I love salmon.
It's a fair point.
If I had to
Home-smoked
choose
salmon
between
is
a double
better than
IPA,
any salmon you can buy in the shops. If
I
you
don't know, Chris.
if I had to give up meat on a barbecue, if I had to give up ribs, or if I had to give up beer, I'm choosing beer to go away.
But even but don't forget, you could have like.
You can drink
No,
cider.
it's
Lager,
gone,
man.
mate. It's gone.
What are you
Yeah,
going to drink instead?
I'm going to
Water.
drink whiskey.
Ooh, that's a good follow-up
Just
question.
neat whiskey.
It's not whiskey and coke, but yeah.
I don't like whiskey. I'm not into spirits at
Hey,
all.
honey, I don't like whiskey, but I'd rather drink that than give up ribs.
I mean, I love whiskey, but
Well, I guess that's the thing with this question. Like, you can still get drunk on other stuff if you give up beer, but if you give
can
up
still eat.
barbecue,
well, are we allowed to eat things that have barbecue sauce on them but haven't been barbecued? Like, how much are we giving up barbecue?
Yeah,
So
right.
that's introducing a level of complexity to the question. I'm not
Now
sure.
we're-
yeah, there's
now
a lot
we're
of
splitting
caveats to
hairs.
this, isn't
We're
there?
splitting hairs.
Next
Yeah.
level.
I think the definition has to be it has gone onto a barbecue above hot coals or smoked.
In that case, beer can go bye-bye.
Oh yeah.
I'm with you, Chris.
Yeah.
I would give up beer.
I'm frying the steak inside. It's going on a frying pan in a griddle. Sorry.
You can't do that with ribs. You
See,
can't
I-
do that with brisket.
Originally, I was going to say I'd give up the beer, but then Stiffo said you can still have your pizza, and I was like, yeah, I'm with that. Barbecue's gone.
I don't think this was a difficult answer for me. Andy hasn't answered. What do you say, Andy?
Oh, I was gonna say I was gonna give up beer, but yeah, you guys are. Yeah, beer.
Beer. Beer can
Yeah,
go away.
it's just like barbecue, man. It's just insane.
That's such
I
a
don't know.
singular category versus
Yeah.
beer, which is so
It's a
many
man thing,
like,
Alex. It's a man thing.
I don't know, like literally.
I hate this generalization.
But
Because as the only woman here, I am also pescatarian. So for me, barbecue is a moot point.
yeah, that's true. Yeah,
Fair dues.
yeah,
It-
totally.
it's all
Yeah, it's a
dependent
bit
on
limiting
your
saying
outlook.
like barbecued fish. Would you give that up versus the entire like
Yes,
fucking range
I'd
of
give up
beer
barbecue
that's
fish.
available in the world?
that just makes it easier for you.
You can have it. Barbecued fish. Piss off.
I can put veggie sausages in the air fryer. It's fine. I will live.
Totally.
Air fryer
Can
for the
I
win.
just
Air
can
fryer
I just
is the
say
one. Yeah.
there is a question from Stiffo, which is what came first, passion for beer or passion for barbecue? Dude, I have my own gravitational pull. I dropped a pencil once and it orbited my ass for 4 minutes before I caught it. Clearly,
Yeah.
it's the barbecue.
Mine's was beer, and then
No
Mine
beer
was
for me.
beer.
yeah, and then
Hey,
it was
barbecue.
Chris. I blame Chris for my entire barbecue.
So surely the
fucking-
question is, why are you not doing a podcast on barbecue?
Because I cook what I like, but I also enjoy the process of making beer. And these three idiots keep me coming back.
I
But
think
there's
we
also,
also
as
don't have
Stifo- as
time, Alex.
Stifo will agree.
We're
that
also in the
coffee
UK,
as
so
well.
we retreat from the barbecue for about 6 months. Of the year.
But you're
true.
also willing to give up beer for 6 months of barbecuing.
Well, I
Because you
wasn't.
can barbecue in the cold.
Probably for that reason as well.
So yeah, but there is coffee as well. If you ask Stifo,
Hey,
there is a
come on.
whole
Keep
world
the
behind
coffee.
coffee.
Hey.
as well.
Yeah, coffee.
Yeah.
Oh, coffee, barbecue, or beer?
Don't even
Oh no,
mention
that's a
coffee.
tough choice.
That's
Is this the something marry kill?
That is not
version of
cool.
this?
That's not cool because like coffee's like the ritual, the daily. Oh,
Daily ritual. Oh, there
Uh,
it is.
Doesn't affect me because I don't drink coffee. So
Oh, you need to.
dude.
Well,
I didn't
there was
drink
a
coffee for
very
years.
important philosophical question posed by Stiffo, which is the real question is what would barbecue be
Without beer.
To
Exactly.
be or not
Well, apparently
to
it would be barbecue with neat whiskey.
It would
Which,
be.
yes, would be still very awesome.
Yeah, if you were
It'd
trying
be
to
a very
like
short-lived
sit by
barbecue.
Or
the
it would be-
smoker like for 8 hours drinking a bottle of whiskey, you'd just be dead before the meat was cooked. wouldn't you?
Or it would be a nice rack of rib, or it would be a nice piece of salmon with a beer.
Yeah, great.
Or the food wouldn't be burned, basically.
All I've got to say is that is a question I hope never
Yes,
ever comes to
correct.
me having to choose between.
Yeah.
Because if it does, oh my good lord. Yeah, that's going to be it. Oh, Chris Ibbos posted a picture on his podcast on the Discord server that we've got of him drinking suds in a hot tub. I swear, I need to find out where this guy lives and go and fill him in. That's just taking the mick.
I've done
He's
that. I
got
remember.
cup holders as well. This is outrageous.
I did that once. It was at this time. It was at the beginning of the year, and you guys did a pod, and I was in a hot tub, and I was on holiday, and I
You
was
were on
literally,
holiday, yeah.
I was literally listening to you guys. We were doing the pod, and I joined the after party, but I was in a hot tub, a wood-fired hot tub. Yep.
Yeah.
I hope you didn't
Really
get
like
semi.
show off, man.
That was 2 years ago, maybe, actually. Yeah. Amazing. Listening to the pod in the hot tub is ultimate because you're just sitting
think
there
that might
drinking beer. Whilst...
That might have been. I think that might have been a pod I was on. I think when you were. I think you were on holiday. I think at the time.
Yeah.
No. That was the pod I missed.
Okay. Because I've done this is my third now. Third.
Yeah. You've done a
Third,
few.
something like
You've done a
it's your
few,
third one.
Hoddy. I think
It's my
I
second
think
in
you're taking
2 podcasts.
Yeah.
Apparently, I'm now a regular.
Alex is actually
Alex
a
is
regular.
actually now just you're just a staffer.
I work here now. And also,
Alex-
before this episode, I was asked to give you contacts for about 3 different breweries. So
Alex, you're
apparently,
always
I'm
welcome
just a
back.
part of this podcast.
Exactly.
Alex, if it was as
Regular
simple as me
host,
sending you
agent,
beer,
You know, all of that
I
stuff.
can't do that. But what I can do is I can make sure that you get some pizza.
I'm excited about this pizza at Beerex.
It's going to happen.
And
Yeah.
Alex, we can make sure that you receive lots of very sour, heavily fruited, thick.
Yeah, I'm happy with that. That's great.
I
I've got one
hope-
more can to open as well with the weird one that's out of date
Open
earlier
it.
this year. so-
Open it.
What's
Open
this?
it.
the can. So
I-
here you go. So here's another thing. So
It exploded.
to celebrate
It's not.
the
It's
Christmas
not a
episode,
dark beer.
Oh, here we go.
what?
to celebrate
hello,
the Christmas
Hoddy.
episode and
Oh,
to
it's late.
carry on the Maverick cheer all the way through to New Year, we've now
nice
created
rhyming.
a discount code on our web shop. I know loads of these people that have been watching the pod tonight have ordered from us, but we've now added a 10% discount code on our web shop. The Hop Edition is the discount code. We're going to keep it live until the 2nd of January. So for anyone watching this, they've made it this far through the craziness and they've stuck at it while we've all been dribbling rubbish. If you use that discount code, the Hop Edition, you'll get 10% off any order you make on our website. Go crazy. Get involved.
Hoddy, the only time we've actually spoken sense is when we've had a guest on like Alex, or when I've done something about science.
But to be fair, if you're anything like Tricky, then your order will
Tricky's
get lost.
gone. He's already on
Yeah,
the
he's gone.
website.
Oh, he's gone. He's ordering already.
You
And
can't
to be
give the
fair,
shill a
Hoddy,
discount code and expect him not to use it
You need
immediately.
to. Well, you need to make that big. Was it called the Big Bird? The Big Bird or what?
The
What was
Big
it?
Bird.
We've got a beer called Big Bird, and then when it comes out in can, the double IPA, it's going to be Bigger Bird.
Bigger Bird. You need to make that, dude. That was insane. Like I
That's
literally
getting
have just.
ordered.
I literally just finished that there, and I'm like, that was
Hoddy,
epic.
if you do not remake Horizons using Pomona, I'm going to drive down to where you live and I'm going to beat the shit out of you.
It sounds I must admit,
You
I've
have
not
to.
thought-
That
Horizons
yeast
has
is
been
special.
interesting. I need to get
It's
some
special.
I need to get some homebrew packs and test it out.
No, you
Before
don't. You
I
need to get a
empty.
500-gram pack off Alix and chuck it in your
Just
next
do it.
brew.
It'll be more than that. It'll be 2 probably at 10 heck, I would imagine, Alex,
Well,
isn't it?
make it happen. Stop sitting
50
there
grams per
talking.
heck. So
Okay.
you could do.
Yeah,
you could do
okay,
a
might be able
500
to squeeze
gram
it. Yeah, okay. That's higher viability than I'm used to in a dry
Do
pack.
it.
What?
Wait.
I mean, most
No.
ales
No.
are 50 to 100 gram per hec. Lagers
I mean-
are 100 to 100.
I
100 to
normally
150.
overpitch, so if I'm doing dry, I usually go like for a kilo of dry in 10
Nah,
hec,
if the
just
spec
in
says
case.
50 to 100 grams, it should work at 50 grams. And if it doesn't, you need to contact your supplier.
Interesting. Okay,
Stop
I like that.
burning
All
money,
I've got to
Hoddy.
say, Hoddy, is the next time I see Horizons, it better say using Lallemand Pomona on it.
Okay,
Because
all right.
it would add so much to that specific beer.
Yeah, the Talus and Eldorado do really work nicely
You
together.
need the top note. The
Yeah,
top
yeah,
note.
yeah.
You need that top note, and it's going to come from
Peachy
Pomona.
guava.
You need it,
All right.
mate.
We'll add that to the schedule for next year, and we'll put that into can.
I'll come down and brew it with you.
There you
I'll
go.
bring you a
Bang on.
pack.
There you go. Done.
We'll do a collab brew.
It's a
I'll
deal.
get my wellies out.
I've got a quick
I'm not
question
digging out
for
the
you.
mash tun.
I've got people that do that for me. It's fine.
I'm just reading your label on Wonderment, and it says these flavors are enhanced by free thiles from mash hopping.
We didn't actually put anything in the mash hop on the day.
False advertising.
Hoddy,
I was going to go to the toilet, but I'm now coming back with this free
Throw
thiles
Saz.
thing. Let
Throw
everyone need
Saz.
to stop. Stop using the word thiles or thiolizing yeast. We don't have GMO thiolizing yeast. If we did, fine, throw it around willy-nilly. You can't use that word when you're talking about just high
Tell him,
blood
Alex.
yeast.
That's it. Feature.
It's just
That's it.
Come on, Alex.
biotransformation then, basically,
Amen,
is what
sister.
we're saying, right? It's the
Why
same
did
thing.
your-
No, well, all yeast have the enzyme that converts bound to free thiols. They all contain
Yeah,
that enzyme.
they just do it to different
just
levels.
different extents. And
What's the
wine,
name of the
it's
enzyme?
massive.
Yeah.
Beta lyase.
And more importantly, why do you have the Guinness logo on your Christmas jumper?
Because
Well,
it's
we
the Guinness
covered this,
Christmas
Chris.
jumper.
I'd
You
not
clearly
seen the
haven't been
bottom
listening.
bit. I'd not seen the bottom bit.
It's from Guinness itself. I got it.
It's
in
very
Ireland.
cool. I like it.
You missed that bit,
Um,
Chris. You must
I
missed
must
that
have been
bit.
drunk.
Yeah, you missed that at the
Yeah.
start.
No, it's at the start.
I have
Anyway.
to say,
So
guys,
behind that, Owen, the thing is the labels that the lead time from at which you have to approve the graphics for the labels to the point at which they go on the can to then the window you then agree with the mobile canner can be 6 to 8 weeks.
This is why people don't put all their ingredients on their cans.
Exactly. This is it.
Yeah, because it's a
things
mistake.
and things change.
As
because
funny as
you're
it is for homebrewers.
Yeah, you don't get this at that time. That's changed. I actually did the trial. I did a trial homebrew batch size of that beer with using Cascade in the mash hop, and it tasted so much like the other beer we make, Big Bird. It was like so similar. I was like, well,
Well,
we can't make this now.
Hoddy,
because...
you can have a big bird and a little bird.
Yeah, but that wasn't the point of the beer, and it was just like
It doesn't
this is
matter
so
what the point of
similar.
the beer is. That's what you can name it and sell both of them.
Yeah, but little
So-
bird's not really a thing, is it?
Well, this is it.
Well, it is now.
So
Yours
that's
bigger
what I was
bird.
actually
Bigger bird.
Yeah.
That's what it's saying. Yeah.
So
Big
we
bird and
won't
bigger bird.
we won't
Yeah.
use the mash hopping, and then we'll just use Idaho 7 all the way through, and it's come out with a different
Get
beer.
some
but
Pomona in it. For God's
Very
sake, get
nice.
some Pomona in it.
Yeah, I think Chris made himself
files.
clear on that point. Right,
Love it.
we're going to have to wrap up the Christmas 2024 podcast.
Happy Christmas.
All right, we're going to
Yeah,
do off to an
totally.
after party. I don't think the party's going to end here, but for our listeners, please jump into the after party. Chris has very kindly posted some links to the Google chat. For those that aren't listening live, I'm going to wish you a very, very Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year for 2025. Wishing you many happy returns.
Ho ho ho.
Happy
There was
Hanukkah.
no
Happy
carol singing. I was
Saturnalia.
disappointed. Are you going to do a solo, Owen?
Well, I could
From
get
the
the
snowman
guitar
walking
out.
in the air?
Maybe we'll, strum a song. Hark
gonna
the
say-
herald angels
Sing
sing.
glory to
The
the newborn
King. It's an absolute banger.
That's beautiful.
That's
Oh, I
fantastic.
do a good rendition of Silver Bells, not quite a carol, but
What's that
you know,
song?
Bing Crosby.
Silver bells.
That's a good one, to be fair.
Owen smells.
I have to say,
It's Christmas time in the city.
of all the songs that are sung at Christmas, I think you've got a long way to go to beat God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen. I believe that is a wonderful, wonderful song.
We had our last night at the tap room yesterday, so we had loads of Christmas carols, all this sort of stuff, and it was my birthday. I was drunk serving behind the bar from 4:30
Wow.
to about 10 o'clock at night. And
No.
I
Hotel
had,
licensing.
yeah, don't tell licensing. I had regulars coming in because they're like, "Oh, it's your birthday. I brought this blackberry infused whiskey that are from home just for you to try." Like
Wow.
by 5:30, I could hardly talk. My customers were stitching me up. It was not fair at all whatsoever. But it was a great night.
Mate.
Suck it
Everyone
up,
came out.
Buttercup. It's part
Yeah.
of the parcel. Suck it up.
Exactly. But we're
Right.
like tap room's closed for like 2 months now, so I've got a couple of months off from tap room duty, which is great.
Well, happy birthday, Hoddy.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, man.
I'm like 32 again.
No, you're not. Give up.
Right,
You're 50 if you're a day.
who's going to say it?
Right.
Well,
All
that's-
I'm going to say is thank you to Alix. Thank you to Hoddy. You guys
Yeah.
have been awesome. Alix, again, you only popped in and you've given us some amazing information yet again. Hoddy,
Yeah.
you are producing some banging beers, and
Yeah,
I've currently
really
got
enjoyed.
contours in the glass, which is going down really, really well.
Discount codes available on the website right now if you need
the
to.
Yeah,
discount
remember the
code
discount code,
is-
guys.
Get
The
involved.
Hop Edition. Get on there, get some beers bought. Hoddy needs to sell some stuff.
And look out for that beer coming with Pomona in it that Alex is going to bully
Yeah,
through into brewing very
And
soon.
also,
I'll go round and I'll force it upon him. Don't worry.
look out for socials. Alex will be coming down and brewing with me.
I'll be on the socials as well. Apparently, he's got a great background social media team.
I have to
And
say,
also-
she's 6'2", mate. I ain't messing with her.
Yeah, I'm 5'6", so you know. But also,
You're screwed. You're going in the back, cunt.
Thanks.
so in January, late January, early February, there will be 2 cans coming out. We will be releasing Big Bird on cans and also Bigger Bird, the double.
Those pictures are
IPA.
going to look like a taking
Amazing.
shelter work day.
This is gonna be
like,
amazing.
pick, aren't they? It's just-
Well done,
If
Hoddy.
it's anything like these guys have suggested, it's going to be quite potent.
It's a very nice beer, I have to say. So,
The bigger bird's insane. Yeah.
yeah, it's a good. It's basically,
It's
it's
good.
just, it's like Tropicana, Orangina in a can that's been carbonated. It's really, really nice. So don't quit on that beer. It's a superstar. So, as it is, guys, this was supposed to be an hour episode. It's 2 hours and 15.
Yes.
Thank you all. We love you all.
Wow.
We'll see you in the after party. So go to the after party. Click the link. Go right now. I'm hoping everybody's going to join. It's going to be amazing. Have a great Christmas. Have a great New Year, and we will see you next year.
Yeah, everyone, take care.
Bye, everyone.
Have a great
Merry
Episode
Christmas.
106 in the
Awesome.
bag.
There it is.
Wah, wah, wah.
Happy Christmas,
See you later, people.
everyone.
Love you all. Bye bye. Right, please do not leave this room.